So you can catch it, match it, stash it in the cabinet. Listen to the chorus while let Ivan scratch it. This is real hip hop, we aiming for a classic. And if we can't approach it, screw it, we'll attack it. Catch it, match it, stash it in the cabinet. Listen to the chorus while let Ivan. This is real hip hop, we aiming for a classic. And if we can't approach it, screw it, we'll attack it. What you know about classic music?
Welcome everyone to the Retro Wrestling Review Series, and today we're going to be reviewing WWF Backlash 2000. But before we do that, let's introduce everybody. First, the man whose intro I screw up every time, Cruzon.
Oh, hell yeah, we're on the Owen Show, baby. Let's fucking go. That time.
Yeah, man.
And I finally didn't screw up your intro because I realized the way to not screw up your intro is just by making that the intro.
Just admitting right to it. Yeah, that's fair.
Next, the person that has been on the Retro since the beginning, and the man that edits every show pretty much that I do now, James the He-Man Hebert.
Oh, hi. That's me.
Yeah, I'm basically just going by how I see it on my screen, so I don't know if that's how you see it.
No, that's pretty much how I see it on mine, actually. That's fair.
Next, I like to say original Lionheart because he was the first one I knew that was Lionheart. Michael Nikos.
Wait, Lionheart? Lionheart or Heart?
It's really hard.
Heart, but I probably screwed it. I probably messed up. I gotta do a lot of. I gotta introduce everybody. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Hi, Nikos.
Hey, how you doing? Sorry, I'm recovering from a cold right now, so I'm not feeling totally 100%. But yeah, I'm happy to be here as always.
COVID. I hope it's not.
If it's COVID again, I'm gonna beat my dad's ass.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. No domestic disputes here on the Retro. Come on now.
Next.
I'm Greek. I don't care. Blood don't mean shit to me.
Anyway.
Next, the man that was doing.
You know that lion that kicked off his brother off the ledge? Yeah, I'm gonna do that shit.
All right. All right. Next.
Next, the first person to do commentary without actually being there before it was cool, Casey Gallagher.
Ooh, I'm a voice tonight.
Yeah, you are.
A bit disembodied, but yeah.
I see.
And then last, the person that picked this Retro, Michael X. I almost said his actual name, but it
wouldn't have mattered.
Secretary Y.
I don't know. That just happens sometimes, but
Well, thank you for having me on, buddy.
You're welcome. So let's get into why we picked this Retro. I mean, you should probably just watch the last Retro, but let's just say no one watched the whole Retro, because let's be real, that's like over 3 hours. And I think to give the about the behind the scenes stuff.
Wait, Nikos, mute.
I'm trying to, hang on. Sorry about that, boys.
That doesn't count as an interruption.
No, it does not. Go ahead.
So, Mike, I actually offered for you to pick a Retro a while ago, but you didn't really want to pick a Retro, and then all of a sudden you just kind of naturally picked a Retro because we did Fully Loaded 2000. And just in case people didn't watch that video, do you want to say why you picked this as a Retro? Because this is your pick, your first ever Retro.
Because James kept saying every single time that it would come up, dude, this is the best the 2000s had for a pay-per-view, and I'm like, that's a fucking lie. That's not true at all. And that was with Fully Loaded 2000.
Yeah.
It's like, no, dog. This is the best pay-per-view for WWE.
The quote being of that being like, "Oh, fully loaded. We're gonna fucking fully load my pants with shit."
Suck my dick.
Yeah. I think the last retro too. I kept.
Go ahead.
No, go
Case.
ahead, Owen.
Casey, go ahead, because what I'm going to say is going to take a while. So
Fair. Now, this is not to say that Fully Loaded 2000 is a bad pay-per-view, because even though I haven't watched it, from everything I have heard, it is actually a pretty damn good show.
it is. So the last on that retro, I keep saying the last retro, but I forgot the last retro we did was like a SmackDown from 07. But on the Backlash, not the Backlash 2000, the Fully Loaded 2000 retro.
Yeah.
I kept saying it's probably the best pay-per-view that I've ever seen. That just changed after I saw this show, because this probably is the best pay-per-view that I've ever seen. Like, from top to bottom, I think I actually don't have a problem with really anything that happens on this show. There might be like one thing, but it's like a nitpick, but that's really about it. But yeah, so let's talk about this. Again, I'm just going to say, if you want like career retrospectives and all that type of stuff, just go watch SummerSlam 2000, because I think about everybody except for like 3 people that has a match on this show we talked about there, because they're also on that show. So.
Oh, are they really? Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Real quick before we continue, Mike, there's some serious audible background noise. It is what it is.
Who?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But to kind of talk about where the company was a little bit, just so I can say, we just came off WrestleMania 2000, and we haven't really talked about it at all. But from what I always hear about the man, I haven't seen it. I always hear that's like a really weird WrestleMania. It's like obviously not as weird as WrestleMania 9, but it's like one of the weirdest WrestleManias of all time. And it's like not everybody what wanted for WrestleMania. Like when everyone talks about Backlash 2000, they always say it's basically what WrestleMania 2000 should have been as a show, minus maybe like the TLC. I know it wasn't the TLC match, but the Triangle Ladder match that happens on that show. I think everyone says Backlash 2000, especially with what happens in the main event, is what WrestleMania 2000 should have been from top to bottom, minus the tag title match and stuff, as a wrestling show entirety, because it basically is what WrestleMania 2000 should have been. And we'll talk about that when we go through like the main event and stuff like that. But the company still was doing really well. They were really
I was gonna do financial ones too, but go ahead.
Yeah, but the company
Please, God, no. Oh my God,
No
please.
way.
Last time that was fucking horrible.
Yeah, but the company was doing really well at this time. They had just gotten over. I talked about this the last time, but the Rascals, they had been kind of broken up by this time, but at least all of them were at least on this show some way, somehow, so that was pretty cool. They just got Taz, like, not that long ago, so that was pretty cool. And I think, too, what we should also talk about when it comes to Backlash and stuff for pay-per-views, and, like, the pay-per-view after WrestleMania, is a lot of people usually say the pay-per-view after WrestleMania is usually like sometimes better than WrestleMania itself. I think the biggest example I point to is Backlash 2000. I think a lot of people like Backlash 2004 better than WrestleMania 20 somewhat. A lot of people like Extreme Rules 2012 better than WrestleMania 28. So basically, I think that B pay-per-view, the follow-up to WrestleMania, I think just because it still has the WrestleMania storylines going into it, because they do a lot of the rematches there. And I think, the rest, even though wrestling kind of goes into a little bit of a lull after Mania because they've, used all the star power, I think there's still that excitement for at least a few weeks after WrestleMania. So,
this is different because you gotta keep in mind with, WWF at this point in time, it was on fire still. Like, they were at the hottest point of their career. They were kicking Nitro's ass in the ratings. They were
without their top star. So think about that for a second.
Yeah, they had really good backup. Yeah, and Triple H and The Rock basically.
And I think too, like, you're probably gonna break down the numbers when I get to
no
this
way.
Show. I assume this show does a really good buy rate because this was their top star.
You want to know what the buy rate was for this show and the entire total financials? Minus it by 100,000, and you're probably on the money. There you go. Like, it was.
There you go.
I think it is the third best B pay-per-view, most purchased anyway, of the entire era of WWE's entire history.
So there you go.
Real quick, I'm gonna just pause real quick.
So James, you want to run through like the financials and stuff before we actually start talking about this?
No, I just ran down the financials.
Not the financials, but like
100,000 less than I said from the last pay-per-view. There you go. You're probably on the ballpark there. It was it was right up there with WrestleMania. It was right up there with WrestleMania 21, I want to say, in buy rate. So around that buy rate, pretty much.
I'll say this show also took place in Washington, D.C. I was going to ask it as a trivia question, but I feel like that's a pretty obvious trivia question because it's basically said throughout this show. And there's actually no tagline for this pay-per-view. Usually I ask what the tagline is. There wasn't a tagline.
Hey, you want to know? I'll tell you the tagline for the pay-per-view. The name of the fucking event. Backlash. Because there was Backlash for Mania. There you go.
This was the second Backlash pay-per-view ever. The first one was obviously 1999, and then they did this one. And Backlash would become like a yearly tradition for WWE until like 2009, and then they took some time off, and now they brought it back recently in 2020, so that's pretty cool. Going through the show now, we have the same commentary team that we've had for all the 2000 pay-per-views. It's Jerry the King Lawler and Jim Ross. I mean, we've talked about it. I think no better two-man commentary duo than these two. I think there's probably some names you could throw out there, but personally, I think when you probably ask people to name their top 5 commentary duo, it's JR and Ken are going to be in people's top 5 for the most part. So.
You definitely have quotable lines from this very show. I remember we were doing the watch-along last night and, recording this on Monday, so we did that last night.
Yeah.
I remember we were just quoting lines. I think Jack at one point said restaurant. We heard restaurant quality content as one of the fucking things.
Yep.
So there you go.
I think I know we should talk about this. This is the first time I think in a 2000 retro that they didn't cut to WWF New York at all on this show. They've done it the past few 2000 pay-per-views. They didn't do it at Backlash, and I think New York was still a thing at this time, wasn't it? So that's
I think New York was a thing, but when did New York become a thing? Because I think that would have been later.
At the tail end of '99.
Okay, so it was a thing around that time.
Yeah. So it's kind of I just say that because they did it for Fully Loaded SummerSlam, so it's kind of interesting because it definitely was a thing. Because I remember at WrestleMania 2000, I believe the Big Show. Maybe it's not WrestleMania 2000, but I'm pretty sure. What's the WrestleMania where, like, because I remember it was used to make fun of the Big Show, where all he does is Mania is just go to WWF New York, and that was like one of the things that was like his embarrassment at WrestleMania.
Oh no, Big Show gets the embarrassment, but it's I think that's fucking SmackDown in, I believe, October.
Yeah,
I think that's what you're talking about.
It's I know no, I think that's I know which one you're talking about. It was Mania 2001.
Okay.
That's when that happened. I know which one you're talking about. Yeah. He was just, for some reason, it was embarrassing when Big Show was just having a good time. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But whatever.
The intro was the WWF intro from the Attitude Era. Just go look up the WWF intro in the Attitude Era.
As Mike said, the best intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The code open for the pay-per-view was, it basically just hyped the main event. They didn't hype any other match on the show. But, because the main event was really what was selling this show, so we'll talk more about that later. It kicked off with the opening match. It was for the WWF tag titles. It was Edge and Christian defended against Road Dogg and X-Pac with Toya inside. Wasn't much of a history. They were both just kind of having matches with each other. Edge and Christian had just won the tag titles at WrestleMania 2000. And you could definitely see that they were slowly transitioning into heels. I don't think they necessarily turned heel on this show, but they were definitely going in that direction because JR and Ken throughout this match were talking about how Edge and Christian are starting to get a little bit too confident and stuff like that. So you can see they were definitely going in that direction. Funny thing is, they weren't even really bad babyfaces.
No, they weren't.
I just think, they needed to naturally turn into the heels. But what were we going to say, James?
I was just going to add to your point, like, with this basically, all things considered, was a heel versus heel matchup, which I actually looked up information on the build-up, so, because the DX Express was a thing. So, Road Dogg and X-Pac, were a part of DX, and so was everybody else that was in DX at the time, except for China. China was doing her own thing by that point. But yeah, it was weird because, you know, they're part of the corporation, and then you're trying to make these guys heels. So
yeah,
by proxy, Edge and Christian were basically the pseudo baby faces, yet on TV they were basically the biggest heels. But yet the DX were supposed to be the biggest heels, so I don't know. It's fucking confusing.
I can tell you why. Because Edge was getting a lot of fanfare from a lot of female teenagers.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, he's huge in that demographic. Still to this day, actually, I think.
Going through the match, DX came out to, it was Road Dogg and X-Pac's theme. And it's like the DX theme song, but go look up like the 2000s DX theme song because there's like added like lyrics by like Road Dogg and X-Pac very heavily influenced. I don't know if it was a Peacock thing.
No, it was Run DMC.
Yeah, that's the King fucking Run DMC King edition, if I remember correctly.
It's
the
King of Rock. Yeah, that's what it was called.
Yeah.
I don't mind it as a theme, but fuck me.
It's a good song.
Is it? I don't know.
I personally enjoyed it.
I hate it. I didn't love it.
Yeah, that's for me.
I
could have taken it or leaving it. It's like I listened to it. I'm like, it just doesn't fit DX to me. I don't know what it is, but like the original DX theme is like, I don't know. Like you don't need to fuck with it. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of the WWF albums tried to tweak songs to have like actual artists sing on them or rap on them or whatever, and you'll notice that not a lot of them really stick, with the exception of a very select few. So
I disagree. I think it's mainly because of the fact that they couldn't afford the licenses anymore. That's why.
Well, yeah, true.
Yeah,
you know.
Going through the match itself, Edge and Christian, they don't start the match, but they decide who's going to start the match. And I believe it's Edge and Road Dogg start the match.
No,
and Edge and Christian.
I thought it was Edge and X-Pac.
Might have been Edge and X-Pac.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Edge and X-Pac start off the match. They go at it for a bit, and Edge and Christian take it to DX in the beginning portions of this matchup. Eventually, the only reason they get the advantage is because X-Pac pulls down the top rope while Christian's going to go bounce off the rope. And behind the referee's back, Road Dogg throws Christian into the steps, ribs first. And the heels dominate Christian for a while. They hit some really cool, effective tag team offense on them. At one point, Christian actually gets the hot tag, but the ref doesn't see it. So, obviously, it's a typical thing where the referee sends Edge back into his corner, and, the heels take the advantage and beat him down. They do 3 tag matches on the show, and this ends up happening, 3 times in all the tag matches. I know that you'd say, it probably got repetitive, but at least WWE, brings up the fact that it happens in the previous matches. I remember, at least in Vince's era, 2020 and stuff, it would happen a lot, and it would just never be brought up. It would happen a lot.
It happened in the last match. No, it didn't.
Yeah.
Mandela effect and shit.
Eventually, I did like at one point where you could definitely see Edge and Christian were big heels, because they even did things behind the referee's back. At one point, I believe Edge goes off the top rope and does a the diving headbutt, the Chris Benoit style one, onto X-Pac behind the referee's back, which was pretty cool. So I did like how they kind of wrestled this match, with a sense of urgency and everything. Eventually,
they were wrestling this match like shit heels should, basically, both teams.
Yeah. But Edge and Christian clearly were the baby faces in the match. So, Edge makes a hot tag. He hits a spear on X-Pac. Christian goes for the Prettier kill switch engage, but they didn't have the name for it back then because it was a fairly new move to them. Christian ends up hitting the double DDT, a reverse version of it, onto both guys. That was cool. And then eventually the match just breaks down into chaos. Toy gets up and distracts the referee. And behind the referee's back, Edge or Christian hit X-Pac off the head with the ring bell. And it allows Christian to pick the win on X-Pac. And he gets busted open from this.
Yes, and before... Yeah, let's talk about this for a second. This bust open. First thing I want to say...
Awesome shot, by the way.
It's a great shot, number one.
He fucking killed him, dude.
But number one thing I want to point out is this match is actually way better than I fucking expected it to be. It was very good open. Good. Number two, this was a hard way cut. It wasn't like Sean Waltman bladed. No, he legit got dinged in the head with the fucking ring bell, and he got gushed open. Like, it was a great shot on TV, but otherwise, outside of that, it's fucking gross. Like, he is pissing blood from this.
But yeah, very good opener. I give it like 3 3/4. Oh, what?
I think Casey was trying to say something.
Oh, no, tough to tell because his camera's not on.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where you guys pretty much said everything for me.
All right, fair enough.
So very good opener. I give it 3 3/4 stars. Really enjoyed it. And obviously I just liked the way everyone wrestled. I liked the commentary in the match also. Like when they got hit with the bell, I like that Ken pointed out that the bell didn't win because they used the win bell, which I thought was a good thing that he brought up.
Yeah, true.
So I really enjoyed this. I gave it 3 3/4 stars. The only one that we really need to say where they are nowadays is Tori. And basically, this was kind of like her last hurrah on screen as a character. As Tori, she would come back as I don't think it was called the Black Ninja, but it was some type of Black Ninja gimmick she was doing. I don't think it was the Black Ninja, but it was some type of ninja gimmick.
She was supposed to be some ninja for Raven, and then that just went nowhere, and then she got released. And
now she's a yoga instructor, so...
That makes sense.
That's cool.
That makes a lot of sense.
So let's go around to everybody and get their thoughts on the match. We'll start with Casey, since we went to him last for the intro. Well, we didn't go to him last, but he's like the last on my screen. So
yeah, I'm pretty much with you. I'd say 3.5. It's a good solid opener. You don't really need much. You don't really need anything more than a solid match to get the crowd up and running. And these guys did their job that night.
Yep.
Michael X.
It's good. It's a solid beginning. Honest to God. That fucking... I think it's karma hitting Sean Waltman in the face, but that's me.
Well, I mean, keep in mind, this is before the One Night in China stint, to be fair.
That's why it's karma. Because it happened prior, and then the event happened, and then he ripped his asshole. So...
Yeah.
Nikos.
I wouldn't say it was the weakest match, but I'd say it's an okay, decent opener of the card. I mean, there are a couple of mediocre ones throughout the night, but as an opener, I'd say this is pretty strong. It was a decent opener. So yeah, I give it 2 3/4, maybe a 3 out of 5.
James, I think you got everything out what you wanted to say, pretty much, right?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I didn't get out was a rating. I'll just give it I think it's 3 3/4. I enjoyed this. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be honest. The way it was structured, and the fact that, well, fucking Pump Handle Hump Man Road Dogg was in it, and he actually put his fucking boots on too. So there you go.
I forgot to mention it. I think it's this match. He does a shake, rattle, and roll elbow drop too, or a full arm smash. I believe he does it in this match, unless I'm thinking of a different match. But it was this match. Yeah, it was this match. And then Kuzan, you're the last one.
There's literally nothing wrong with this match at all. There's literally nothing wrong with it. It's a perfect opener.
I agree.
Fuck, dude, that shot. Oh, dude, man.
If you wanted...
He got him good.
Bro, I don't know.
Damn.
I've watched that, I don't even know how many times after the retro was done because I wanted to see how it even happened. So, he he got him right on the top. You know the top of the fucking ring bell thing?
Yeah,
Like
the rotator cuff.
Yeah.
It's the thing that elevates the bell from touching the actual base, so it actually rings.
Yes.
So it can actually spin.
So that is what smashed him in the head.
That's what hit him.
Yeah. And it was just, oh my god, gnarly spot.
Like,
Yeah,
that was just a shiner on him.
bruh.
Like, is it as bad as the hit Eddie Guerrero took? No. But if you look at it from a close angle, you can see that, this was
it's definitely
really
up there.
hard cut.
I even mentioned, like, way before I even saw, like, the gash.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, they're having a noticeable chat. Because I saw Christian look down at fucking X-Pac, and I was like, they're having a noticeable chat about something. What's going on? I was like, oh, he's concussed. You know, probably hit him, like, wrong or whatever. Dude, when he sat up,
Bro.
damn.
And then the second match, which we'll get to it, but I'll just say it here. I'm not going to even go over the other stuff in the second match, but all you need to know is that the blood from Sean Waltman's dead center in the ring. Like, you could see it clear as day. Like, this cut was deep in there, man.
It's there, I think, until, like, the hardcore title match, I think. That's when I noticed it was gone. But I think it's...
Yeah.
It's there for a while.
They probably replaced the canvas, like not the actual like padding inside of it, but like they probably put a few like extra sheets over because it was probably distracting.
Right. Well, it definitely was distracting. It was so noticeable. Like, it really was that noticeable.
Yeah. It was that way.
It's almost as if they could have just taken out paint or like white out and just covered that once.
Yeah, just
I don't even know. Was Whiteout even a thing back then?
I think so. Yeah. When did Whiteout?
The Tipex pens, yeah.
Okay.
When did the Whiteout come out?
Because I didn't hear about Whiteout till I got into high school, so that's why I wasn't sure if it was a thing back then. And I was in high school, like.
By the way, Whiteout is absolute shit. Like, that never ever works. And when you try to write over it, man, oh my god.
You're not supposed to write over it.
One time.
Yeah, dude, you're not supposed to.
Yeah, but one
Tell
time
that to my teachers.
They did work for me one time. I'll just tell you a quick story real quick, and then we'll go back.
I'm interested.
What James knows about this. So sometimes the school, like, professors and stuff give us, like, homework assignments, and we have this place called the All Get Massasoit where you basically can get all tutored and stuff and help you with your homework and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And what happened is sometimes they write on the homework assignment, like, you can't have help with this homework assignment or something like that. And I didn't use the whiteout, like, thin itself. I use, like, they have, like, a strip of it. It's like a modernized version where it's, like, tape, but it's, like, whiteout stuff. So I used that, and I wrote out, can't have help on it, so I had them help me with my homework.
Oh, whiteout tape, yes.
Yeah, that works.
Whiteout tape is great. Not fucking regular whiteout where they try to have you write over it. Like, no.
Yeah. I remember one time I whited out, like, the one word one time. It was that. Me and Whiteout did not get along, let's just say that. So
yeah, you can't use like normal like biro pens. You have to get there's like a certain stuff that like you can get. It's like a fancy pen, but basically it's like a type of pen ink that you can like erase. It's the same stuff that's used in like printer ink. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I don't know why I know this, but like it's the same type of stuff that's used in like printer ink. It's expensive for no reason whatsoever, and it's not permanent. Like, it's just not good. So just like using normal biro is just like way better.
Before we move on to the next thing, I want to come back to a conversation that we had in the last retro. It was
oh no.
You and me. We talked about the tag division and how it's the best in the Attitude Era. I may have to say I agree with you guys because the tag division is like all over this show. It's in the hardcore title match.
Stacked, dude, to the gills with teams.
Yeah,
I think JR even points it out on commentary at one point that there's just so many fucking teams. It's ridiculous.
So next, The Rock arrives. It was questionable who this was because he comes out.
You smell?
Hold on.
He comes up in the limousine, and everyone was wondering if this was Stone Cold Steve Austin because Jim Ross kept saying the entire night that Stone Cold Steve Austin's usually the first one to arrive at the arena. And this was like the first time that he hadn't been, so everyone thought this was off because he was meant to be in The Rock's corner for the main event. But it was a limousine, and I like that like Jim Ross even corrects himself and says, I should have known that wasn't Stone Cold because he wouldn't show up in a limousine. So that just showed you how great Jim Ross is on commentary right there. I don't think he says anything. I think it's just The Rock just comes out of the limousine, and that was it, pretty much. So, then we have. I'm gonna let Mike break down the next match because that's pretty much he. I feel like I'd be doing Mike a disservice because that's pretty much why he's here. It's the light heavyweight championship match. Dean Malenko defended against Scotty 2 Hotty. Do you want to break this down, Mike? Because this is why we're here.
I'm not gonna break shit down. I'm gonna say if you're a wrestling fan, if you fucking care about this thing that you watch, you need to find and watch this match from start to finish. It's fucking very good. If I'm telling you that Scotty 2 Hotty has a very good match with Dean fucking Malenko, your first thought should be, oh, now I gotta see it.
Yeah.
It's one of the top matches of the night for me, I think.
It's fantastic. It's one of the best matches on the entire card.
Yeah. So, the Dean Malenko and Scotty 2 Hotty were going back and forth for this championship. I believe Scotty 2 Hotty beat Malenko for the belt, and then Malenko, just on SmackDown, it was the go-home show before this, he won the belt by using the ropes for leverage against Scotty 2 Hotty. So it led to this rematch here. And, yeah, this was just a hell of a match, pretty much. I really just can't do this justice. Sometimes I just like to say go watch the match just because it's that good, but Scotty 2 Hotty starts off the match. He, dominates Dean Malenko for a little bit. He ends up clotheslining him on the outside. He hits a drop kick, but he ends up like just holding onto the ropes and he just stays into the ring. It's the trying to think who does this drop kick. I believe Sami Zayn, not Sami Zayn. Who does this drop kick nowadays? I forget who does this drop kick nowadays. But you've seen this drop kick if you know what I'm talking about. And then eventually Malenko. Scotty 2 Hotty goes for the bulldog, and Malenko counters it into a clothesline, and the counter of this just looks so stiff and so brutal. And
it was the fucking clothesline, wasn't it? That was what finally slowed the pace down. Yeah. So like,
slow the fuck down, dude. You're going way too fast.
Yeah, like Scotty was going nuts, and I think the idea was he was trying to be, a flurry of offense type of thing. And Dean was, I don't know if it was legitimately,
Dean
like, he was
had
pissed with him.
Enough of his shit.
Yeah, like, I don't know if it was legitimate or not, but he just, like, whams him with a clothesline. And
it was awesome.
It felt like a slow the fuck down moment, but also, like, that was a perfect way to slow the shit down.
Yeah. But you could definitely tell that the stiff clothesline, though.
Fucking Dean Malenko. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is one of his best matches, and it's against an opponent that I can sit there and say, did not expect to make him go the distance.
Sure. And then Dean Malenko starts... We're going to say, Casey?
No, I wasn't going to say anything. You're good.
Oh.
Whatever you're doing, your thing is lighting up like fucking crazy. I assume you're eating, but...
no, actually.
I don't know.
But eventually Dean Malenko starts working over the leg of Scotty 2 Hotty. He wraps it around the post. He hits a half. He locks him into a half crab. There's one point he chop blocks his leg, and Scotty 2 Hotty does a flip and lands on the back of his head.
Oh my god! What a fucking sell by Scotty for this, man. Like I thought he almost died the way he took that.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
And then eventually, the thing about this match too is what I like about it the most. It's gonna sound like weird what I like about it. Scotty 2 Hotty has a comeback, but it's not like an overall comeback. He gets like a little bit of a comeback, but really the match is kind of all Dean Malenko. Just Scotty 2 Hotty would get little flits and flurries of offenses, which is what I like most about it. It's like he kind of really couldn't take out Dean Malenko.
He was the underdog fighting from underneath, basically trying to claw and scratch his way above. Yeah,
I feel like because we talk about you put this match on today, it gets over. I honestly think that this match would get over more because of that, because everyone's used to seeing that big comeback the babyface gets. You don't really get a big good comeback from Scotty 2 Hotty in this match. It's just very small comebacks, pretty much.
I think the best part of his comeback too was it didn't matter because he hit the WORM woo woo woo.
Yeah. So this is we never really been able to talk about this on podcast. Maybe you guys have, but I haven't been. I know the one's a crap finish, but the crowd's into it. I really don't care. You know what I mean? If the crowd, I don't really think it's even as finish. It's a signature.
Oh, no. You want to talk about dead crowds? I don't. That happens later.
Yes.
And I know exactly what match it is.
Yeah, but this crowd was hot for the worm, and it was and what's funny about it is it got such a great pop, and then D gets right back up because of course he does.
Yeah, fuck you, man. You and your damn punch.
Yeah.
I don't care how many fucking worms you do.
Scotty 2 Hotty at one point goes for some type of springboard onto the apron, but Dean Malenko counters it into a DDT onto the apron. It was
oh my god, that was so beautiful.
Yeah, so
and it's nice. It's nice. I think I like the spot more because it's nice that someone gets planted onto the apron and you don't have to hear like Jim Ross or Michael Cole say that's the hardest part of the ring, don't you know? Every time
it's the hardest part of the ring, don't you know?
Yeah. Eventually, Dean Malenko wins the match. I believe he wins it with a power bomb from the apron.
It was a DDT.
No.
Yeah, it was a DDT.
Yeah, no, it was a DDT.
No,
it was like
the power bomb.
Suplex.
The power bomb came later, and it was a stiff ass power bomb. It was a fucking Liger bomb, which Jack said it for me. I love me a good Liger bomb, and then the finish was they're on the top rope. Scotty's trying to go for a superplex. They're both jockeying for position on the fucking top, and then fucking just Dean gets him in this front chancery, and I'm like, what the fuck? Spikes him with this DDT. And I'm like, huh?
Awesome.
And then he pinned him. And I'm like, yep.
I've never seen that.
Yep.
I was about to say, I've never seen anyone do that.
No.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it's dangerous as fuck.
But when done right, it's
safe.
When done right, it looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, the thing is, talking about this match, you think it'd be like a 4-star match. I really want to give this match 4 stars. There is one thing that ruined the match, though, and unfortunately, it's that the crowd really. It's not that the crowd's not into the match, but you could just tell, like, if this match had taken place like in WCW today, or like, you know, at any other time.
You know what? Yes, in the beginning they weren't into it because, you know, the way they were building both guys or whatever.
Yeah.
Especially Dean in Dean's case. But the crowd was fucking into it by the end of it, dude. I mean, I'm giving it 4 stars for that alone.
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, to be fair, let's also talk about the crowd. Really, originally wouldn't have even had a reason to get into this match because they really didn't treat this division with any type of credibility by this point. Because,
yeah.
Was this the same? Was this a year before this? Wasn't Gilbert the champion? They were just jobbing him out every week, pretty much. Wasn't that the case too?
I think legitimately, correct me if I'm wrong, if you look in the promo before this match, Dean Malenko's holding the red title, because I made mention of this, saying like that red title looks so bad, bro. And then Malenko comes out with the black leather. It looks so much better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it looks so good on him too, by the way. It looks so great on Dean. I don't know what it is about this belt. Looking so good on Dean Malenko, but like, I don't know, it just when I think of light heavyweight title in WWF, I think of 2 people, Taka and Dean. And Dean had the best looking belt.
So
I'm just
pretty sure
those 2 for that title.
Yeah, exactly.
I
would have loved to. Yeah.
Remind me too. Is this the last like great match we even get for this title too? I don't think they have another one really ever again.
It's not. It's close to it.
If not, it's close to it. If there was a match better than this, I guarantee you it was on some C show or some whatever the fuck.
Yeah. So let's go around. So yeah, I gave it 4 stars. This time I'm gonna start with Cruiser. I'm gonna go the other way this time. What do you think of this?
Oh, I honestly, this for me was like, I know Dean Malenko's good, But honestly, this was the first match I've ever watched of Dean Malenko's.
Wow.
It's really good. Like
You picked a
I
good
know
one
I've
to
seen
start with.
spots and stuff. Sorry.
You picked a good one to start with, bro.
Yeah, like I've seen like stuff of his,
Yeah.
but I've only seen like clips and stuff, obviously from like compilation videos and stuff like that. This was my first full match. The only weird thing I noticed with Dean Malenko, he does this thing where he looks like a fish that's flopping out of water, like while he's standing up and lying down. He'll just like wiggle his head around after he's like either hit a move or like took a move. And I was
Yeah.
like, Dean, what's going on, mate? Are you okay?
He's trying to do an ultimate cell.
He looks like a fish.
But yeah, he looks like a fish.
No, this match is great.
Yeah. I think the only other match I've seen of Dean's, and James, you can correct me if I'm on, at the Clash of the Champions '97, the one we reviewed, doesn't he face Ultimo Dragon on that
He
show?
does fight Ultimo Dragon on that show. Those two have banger matches. Banger.
We should watch
matches.
some WWW.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Not
James,
only the bad shit, hopefully the good shit. Some of the bad shit.
but yeah, James, what do you think of this? I mean, you kind of...
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm giving this four. I'm giving this four.
Yeah.
4.25 actually, because like I really like this match. Like it's one of those matches where you had like Scotty going crazy in the beginning and then Dean's like slow the fuck down. I think that added to the match as well, and it told a great story.
I agree.
So I really like this match. I really enjoyed it.
Nikos?
I mean, I would have to agree with James. I mean, the only thing that's like keeping this from like a 5-star match, in my opinion, is and this is just a tiny nitpick for me. For Malenko, there seems to be a lot of time wasting when all he's doing is just circling around the ring, just waiting for Scotty to get up. But I get it; it's not like Scotty's elements because there's like two different weight classes going on. But I feel like within time, they like later in the match that they would get better naturally. So this is like a really good build up to like a really good finish for both these guys' parts. So yeah, I'm gonna give this like 4.5.
I think they have even better matches too on SmackDown and like Raw as well for the belt. I remember there was a few for the belts on those shows. I don't know why
I guess you could say this would be like a catalyst or something.
Yeah, I don't know why they give a fuck about the light heavyweight title all of a sudden for like a cup of coffee, but
because Dean Malenko had it.
Yeah, exactly.
Michael X.
Oh, it's fantastic. If you're ever looking for a Dean Malenko match to like define what it is like to wrestle against Dean, then I think that this is a fantastic start to anybody's journey of like what the fuck you should be expecting.
Mm-hmm.
Casey?
Like it's phenomenal.
Oh. Now you can go, Casey.
I'm gonna say a solid 4-star match. Dean has had better matches, but for an opponent like Scotty 2 Hottie, this was pretty damn good. And Scotty pulled out shit you would not have expected from a guy of his character and weight class. Very entertaining, good psychology all throughout, and yeah, definitely a good attention grabber match to say, hey assholes, you might want to start paying attention.
Unfortunately, unfortunately they didn't, but you know,
yeah,
at
so
least
going through Dean Malenko's career in wrestling, pretty much after this, he had an okay title run, but then he went into that weird storyline where he was trying to get with Lita, pretty much, and then he kind of did a stint for a bit in 2000 into 2001, and then eventually he transitioned to just a producer and made occasional on-screen appearances in WWE, and then they kind of mutually parted ways with each other, and now he does producer work and like all that type of stuff in AEW, pretty much. So, you know, Michael's done pretty well for himself as a non-wrestler.
I just want to point this out as well. The gimmick that the WWF gave him. Dean did not need a gimmick. His gimmick was no gimmicks needed. I don't know why they felt the need to try and establish a fucking gimmick. Although
I would disagree.
Although I will say, when Dean had the James Bond ripoff gimmick, because that's all it really was. I mean, that's exactly what it was.
Well, the Cesaro theme.
Yeah, with the Cesaro. Yeah, with the early Cesaro theme. I don't know why he didn't do as bad as like everybody fucking says he did. I don't know where that comes from. Like, okay, he's not your typical promo guy, but not a lot of people were, by the way. Spoiler alert. But like, it's not like he did a bad job. He fit the fucking role, and he was still the fucking Iceman in the ring.
I can tell you
Yeah.
why. Oh, okay, go on. Jim.
No, after you, Jack. Go right ahead.
No,
You
go on.
first.
You go.
No,
You'll
you
probably say
first,
the same thing as me.
He's got the same energy as Lance Storm and fucking Dan Severn, okay? He comes down to the rink, he doesn't say a lot because he doesn't need to. He whoops someone's ass and then he walks the fuck out. That's all he needs to do.
Right.
You don't need to overbook him and overdo it.
So, I would agree with that. However, I can tell you exactly why he was taken. Because he came with the Radicals. And with the Radicals, all three of them kind of got some kind of tonal shift. They got something going on. You know, Eddie was like, he's a great wrestler. He was terrible in WCW. His character stunk like donkey dick. It was terrible.
And then when
as soon as he came in, as soon as he came into WWF, go on.
It's funny that you say that because he, when he tried to build character in WCW with the Latino World Order thing, fucking shat on immediately. Now, but I say that because if you listen to what Eddie says, that was him trying to establish his fucking character. Eric just didn't give him fuck all the fucking worth with, which is one of the reasons why he left for the WWF in the first place. Which is why he had way more creative freedom in WWE because he was allowed to be more creatively free. So
yeah, like I would say Dean was the only one who wasn't given something new to chew on. And that's kind of because he's being compared to his other radical like brothers, right? That's the issue that's come into. One random thing I want to talk about, and like stop me if this is like too serious, Owen. One thing the only ever like time I ever looked at Dean Malenko was his Chris Benoit episode on fucking Dark Side of the Ring. Dude, he does not like talking about this shit. Like, he is a nervous wreck.
Yeah.
He really
it's
doesn't.
A tough thing to really talk about
Yeah,
too,
like
so.
it's weird because like I don't want to go too serious about it. All the other guys were like talking about it, getting the information, all that. Dude, his like knee was shaking the entire interview. He like really does not like talking about it. His wife also is like that woman is like there's something wrong with her. His current wife, there is something wrong with that woman, man. It is so weird listening to her on an interview because she was like, you know, I feel like really weird as a woman, and I'm just like, this isn't about you, dude. This is all about Malenko, you know? So, like, I don't know. That was like a really weird thing, but like, that's like the only thing I've ever looked at to do with Dean Malenko. Other than that, I don't know a lot about Dean Malenko. But from what I saw with this match, dude can fucking work. Like, he is awesome. And honestly, I would really like to watch some more of his stuff.
Hey.
Same.
Don't worry, I got a list.
No, there's Mike and I got it covered. For real, like and Nico's probably too. To be fair, I think that with Malenko, I go back to my original point though. When he was given the Bond gimmick, I think he did better than a lot of people say he did. I think it's bullshit that they say, "Oh, he sucked and he's a charisma vacuum." When I don't know what people are fucking talking about. I don't get it. I think he fit the role perfectly. Like, okay, he was supposed to be a James Bond ripoff. Was James Bond exactly a fucking charisma vacuum, or was he a fucking straight man that just happened to get the fucking ladies? You fucking tell me. I mean, I can't think of a better wrestling fucking casting than fucking Dean Malenko playing James Bond. I'm just saying.
I can answer that.
Go ahead.
You want it? It's Christopher Lee.
Yeah, that's fair too. Actually,
There you go.
No,
And only
James,
Christopher Lee.
no, I'm not like saying that to be fucking cute or a wise ass. I mean, literally, James Bond is based off of Christopher Lee. That's not me like fucking around or making a joke. I'm being dead serious when I say that. Like that is confirmed that James Bond is based off of the actor Christopher Lee.
Was Dean Malenko's character that he like was a womanizer? Like he had like women around him?
He's a straight. No, his whole thing was that he was a straight shooter wrestler.
I know it sounds silly.
no,
like, maybe
the
they should have added
WWF,
that.
the WWF character. Yes, that's exactly what it was.
That's what I'm saying.
Benoit. He was just James Bond.
Benoit.
Yeah, he was just Benoit. Yeah,
Chris James Bond.
No, I was wondering, like, with the James Bond character, again, as someone who doesn't know, like, a damn thing about the character or anything, so I'm looking at this with fresh eyes, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Was his character, like, did he have women around him, or was he trying to get with women?
I think he would get, like, women around him, and then the biggest one is, he tried to get with Lita, like I said.
Did
and
he
that
ever
was
have a
the only
valet,
one.
Owen?
Huh?
Did he ever have a valet?
he had many valets.
Not too much. Yeah, I don't think
That
he had
was
like
the
a
thing.
valet that like stuck, but I think he would have
Damn.
valets.
Yeah, he basically was.
If he had a really good...
He was basically reverse Godfather.
If he had a really good valet, I think it would have fit his character a bit more. It's not that he probably needed a bit more to go off of. Maybe he just needed something to help him complete the package.
Probably, yeah.
I think that's the only thing like I can think of, to be honest. But yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Did we go through everybody's thoughts on the match?
Yeah, we
Okay.
did.
Yeah, there we go.
Solid 4.5 star match.
Yeah.
Couldn't argue less.
So next, the McMahon Helmsley faction minus Road Dogg and not Billy X-Pac are backstage. It's really just Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and Vince, but it's just easier to write it in my notes if I just write McMahon Helmsley faction backstage.
Yeah,
Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, and special guest star, the uneaten salad plate.
I was
Yep.
so not okay with this.
Dude, you got so fucking angry for no.
Bro,
So-
the food, bro! The food!
Bro, I don't want to hear this.
well-
Come on.
It's food. It's
Oh,
it's
and what did you
wasted
feel
food,
about all the
man.
food that was on the table?
I feel like you were that's a waste of food right there.
Exactly.
Oh my god!
I
hate
agree. But like, was there
Especially all
anything
those
on there
cute-
that you want to eat?
And I would have gone for the cucumbers easily. That's
Okay.
just my
Bro,
thing.
I would have gone for about 70% of that fucking plate, guaranteed. I would have eaten a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
For real.
Cool.
I don't know. I'm not really a big. I don't really.
shit.
I don't really eat like veggie platters like that either, though. So like, the cucumbers would be the only thing that I'd be going for, to be honest.
Fair enough.
Like that's my thing.
Cucumber.
But to get
The
a...
thing I'm bad about there was
Go ahead.
no ranch or like Italian dressing or any of that. Where was all that stuff?
Oh,
Like, I should have
come
been
on. We can get that. We'll get it for you.
But you can find
Yeah, but
all
what-
these items and more at your local Applebee's. Applebee's, come for the food. Maybe just leave. Actually,
Don't stay for the women, please.
So
It was pretty awful. Actually, don't.
let me see if I can try to remember this segment because I believe I remember those other ones, but I believe this is one. I believe Jonathan Coachman or. Was Jonathan Coachman even there interviewing him? Because
I think that was the second segment. I'll be honest with you, I don't remember this segment
I don't-
at all because I
trying to
think we
see-
were just all talking over it.
I think it's like Triple H. They were basically talking about how Stone Cold Steve Austin's not going
Isn't
to be
there?
there.
Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah, they
Yeah, I don't
hinted
really-
that he wasn't going to be there. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. What?
Yeah.
What?
No
one
Stone
of those
Cold.
This is just one of those things where like it blended together. I've watched a lot of wrestling within the past couple of days, so I really don't remember this. I'm so sorry. Like,
Yeah, it was just like a nothing segment. I don't blame you for not knowing what was going on.
No,
to be honest,
here's
even when
what
this
happened. Here's what happened. Hunter, I need you to impregnate my daughter.
Honestly,
Alright.
yeah, that it had.
I have an idea for a storyline.
No!
In all honesty, when I saw Vince, all it was just That's all I got from this segment. There wasn't a lot going on.
Let's let Mike finish the breakdown of this segment because I think he's trying.
What you gotta do is you gotta fill her up.
Vince, I really don't want to be a part of this anymore. I'm going to be honest with you. I think I might just...
No, you don't understand. You're like me. You're a genetic jackass.
I don't like this. This is uncomfortable.
I've seen your kids, Vince. I'm married to one of them. If your genes are anything to go by, there's too much fucking X chromosome. Too much.
Can y'all check the main chat real quick?
What did you do? I can't even, dude. I can't
Owen,
even.
can you look at that?
Give me a kiss. Give Daddy a kiss, sweetheart.
Was it main chat?
Yeah, the main chat.
Oh, the main chat. Okay.
The main chat room.
Okay. Casual conversation.
No,
not
Jack,
no,
Jack,
actual,
no.
text at the top.
Why did you do this?
The very
What's
top
wrong, Jim?
of the FTW.
Come on, sweetheart. Just
I posted a GIF.
Okay, so hold on, let me find it.
You're a motherfucker,
Is it
by the way.
etc. chat?
It's just at the very top of this channel, where
no.
just above self promotion.
genetic.
FTW main chat, Owen. I'll do this as a
I found it.
He'll get there.
No.
Is it the AJ Styles one?
The one at the top.
The very one at the top, but like scroll all the way down. The chat once
I
you
see
click.
it now. I
There you
think
go.
I see it now.
Yeah.
God.
Maybe you can get lost when we're literally telling you the direction you go with.
Dude.
Well, in
Why is
fairness,
that so sensual?
because
How did you get that?
because Vince,
Just
you know,
someone.
Vince
Casey, what do you feel about
wants incest allegedly. That's why.
Casey, how do you feel about that?
I know this is way off topic, but
Wait,
did you ever hear the one?
hold on, Casey, go. God damn it.
New era, same old shit.
Yeah.
New era.
More kisses. Yeah.
Go on, Owen.
So I know this is way off topic, but did you guys ever hear the one storyline that actually broke Vince McMahon that had him like get up and leave the room? Did you ever hear the one storyline about
Wait,
that?
there was a storyline that made him leave?
Well, not really a storyline, but one that somebody tried to pitch to him. Like,
Go on.
Vince, I got a great idea. We'll have a bunch of whores start dating you, and then we're gonna find out about it. And then you're gonna have to get fired. And that was the one who's like, I'm not. I think I'm gonna leave.
no, but I don't remember the exact story, but
Go on.
apparently there was a writer backstage who pitched. Do you guys remember the wrestler John Heidenreich?
Oh,
Yes. Oh my God, no.
What up?
So here's what the storyline. James, I think you might know where I'm going with this. I don't know. A writer wanted backstage. He pitched an idea to Vince McMahon that he wanted to say that Heidenreich was frozen and he was like a Nazi. Like,
Yes,
do you remember this,
yes,
James? You heard about this?
Awesome.
yes, I remember this. Yes.
Wasn't
So
he?
the
He was like,
I got you. So the backstory was that Heidenreich, and they even alluded to this, so technically this is canon, was a frozen member of the Nazi Party that was de-thawed and ready to go for
Was
combat.
thawed out.
And
yeah.
he wanted to come to wrestling to spread the whatever
The good word.
the good word of the Nazi Party. Yes, this is a real thing that was pitched.
And this storyline was so bad. I think Vince didn't say a word. He just got up out of his chair and just walked out of the room.
Oh, he's
That's
like
how
going
bad.
around like a fucking like Mormon, like knocking on doors, saying like, "Sorry, have you heard the good word?"
You know the good word of our Lord and Savior Hitler?
First of all, that's
Fuck,
over.
that's funny.
Go ahead, Casey.
Cool.
You don't think Kanye West told Vince McMahon this storyline, did he?
No. Oh, Jesus. Casey, go on.
That's fucking funny.
Casey, you're trying to say something? I don't know.
First of all, that's Jehovah's Witnesses.
Ah, true.
Oh, sorry. I'll check the ball.
Jehovah, I really know her.
I like how I still
No,
can't. I still
Mormons do
can't,
that as well.
I still can't believe this happened, and I'm the one that told you guys about it right now. I still
That's
can't.
sick.
Fucking
It's a thing.
awesome.
It's a thing.
You know what? You know what's great? When I look at my phone, I look down at my phone real quick, and I forgot exactly what Kuzan fucking posted. I'm like, oh yeah, kissing dad. That's right.
Dude, why is that so sensual?
Because he
Oh, yeah?
really wanted to fuck his daughter, allegedly. It's
Well, like,
obvious,
she,
allegedly.
like, leaned into it. And
Yeah,
was, like,
well,
all for
they're a
it.
fucked family, Kuzan. They're a fucked family. The whole damn family, the whole fan family is
The whole
fucked in the
goddamn
head.
thing needs to be burned to the
Awesome.
ground.
Dude, I
And they
love
should
wrestling.
replace it
Wrestling's
with
sick.
Oh my god.
Wrestling's
Go ahead,
fucked,
Owen,
yo,
I'm
but
sorry.
it's funny.
I love wrestling.
We should move on.
Go on,
I
bro.
fucking love pro wrestling.
Please.
So Jeff
There
Hardy
isn't a
is
moving on from
next,
this.
and
Fucking Willie Mack.
Willie Mack.
Go ahead, Owen.
Big
wait,
cock.
what about Willie Mack?
Willie Mack. That's his new name. Willie Mack. He's got his dick out.
No.
That's a real wrestler. That's an actual
Kill the
wrestler.
fire.
I hate this. Go. Just talk over him, Owens. Go.
You gotta get a stand-in for that.
So Jeff Hardy's backstage, and he's getting ready for his match. Working out with those, I believe those like workout bands that the wrestlers like to use sometimes and stuff. And Matt Hardy comes up, and they both agree to work together and take on everybody in the 6-man hardcore scramble match until it comes down to them two, and whichever one of them pins Crash Harley,
What a fucking idiot.
it would be the better man and stuff. And then, yeah, they both agree to this. You could definitely tell Matt Hardy was new to talking on the mic because he's not as good as he is today. But
What was
You know.
what was with Jeff with the fucking like frilly choker like collar?
I don't
We
know.
talked about this,
What?
didn't
the
we?
f- Yeah, we talked about this while we were watching this. Like, what?
I wouldn't.
Dude, that's a woman's like accessory.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect Jeff Hardy to have the greatest dress sense when the dude doesn't even know where he is 80% of the fucking time. All right.
What do you mean, just 80?
Kind of on 100.
I don't even
Yeah,
think.
true.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't even know how. I don't even think the Hardys are really. I mean, I think they're just like in their 20s, like early 20s at this.
Yeah,
point,
something
so.
like that.
Because they lied about their age, which is
Yeah.
fucking hilarious.
Which I think is funny because the Boogeyman lied about his age, but he didn't got him
Booty.
kicked out of Tough Enough.
Yeah, that's fucked. Actually, that's really fucked. But like,
Yeah.
anyway.
But anyhow, then right afterwards, the Hollies, pretty much do the same segment where Crash Holly tries to offer the same thing, but Hardcore Holly's not having any of that. He just wants to beat the crap
He
out of his
slapped the
cousin.
fuck out of Crash, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
die.
Dick, you're such a
Yeah.
prick.
Yeah, I mean,
Crash, are you okay, buddy? No, I'm not doing so well right now.
I
Can I go lay
guarantee-
down for a little bit?
He slapped him so fucking hard across the back of the head. I thought he legitimately had a concussion. Like,
I hope
you know.
kind
I
of
don't think
an
it was that
asshole.
I think that was Hardcore Holly's intent.
yeah.
I hope
What is
you know that
everyone's
I
like
sent-
thoughts? What's
I
everyone's
sent
thoughts
that
on these
clip.
backstage?
Oh, sorry. After you know, my bad.
I was just gonna ask, what's everyone's thoughts on these backstage segments? Like
Fucking
just like a
stupid.
thumbs up, thumbs down type thing.
Fucking stupid.
I wish that they did something different, but I appreciate the fact that they were breaking up the matches because there wasn't a lot of this in the show. I
Yeah,
feel like I kind of got overwhelmed on the show a bit because it was just match after match. So maybe the show could have done with a little bit more of this, just something different.
yeah, I agree. And what were we gonna say before, Mike?
Oh, I sent the gift to Lillian. The first thing she sent me was, "What the fuck am I looking at?"
Yeah,
Jesus.
I go blame Jack, and she went,
Jesus.
"You two need to just get a room at this point. This shit's getting crazy."
so they just kept going.
Ah, Go ahead.
Next match was the Hardcore Championship match. It was a 6-pack challenge, but they didn't call it a 6-pack challenge. It was like a 6-man warfare or whatever. It was
Scramble, I think they were saying.
Yeah. It was Crash Holly defending his Hardcore title against Taz, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, Hardcore Holly, and Perry Saturn. So basically, at WrestleMania, which we'll do that as a retro someday, I think.
Oh, jeez.
Hardcore Holly, I think we don't really know because it's the biggest conspiracy in wrestling if it was supposed to happen or not. But Hardcore Holly won the Hardcore title, whether he was meant to or not, but he won it in a Hardcore Battle Royal. And then they were doing the 24/7 title war. I don't remember exactly, but I remember somehow the title ends on one of the Hardy members. I think it's Matt that gets the title. And Matt and Jeff Hardy fought for it on SmackDown on the Go Home show, which is cool because it was the first time we... Huh?
And it was the first time I think we've seen the Hardys, and then Crash comes in and swoops in and steals the belt.
So basically, that kind of led us to this match. I believe Taz and Perry Saturn were a part of this merge. I know Taz was a part of the WrestleMania stuff, and he was part of this merge. I think Perry Saturn got involved in this because they wanted to get him on the show somehow. Because he really did. Let's be honest, I really don't think Perry Saturn really needed to be here. He really did not fit into the story at all, at least in my opinion. Anyway.
No, I agree with that.
But I liked that they added the stipulation where the only way the match could end is if Crash Holly wins or if he gets pinned. I thought that was kind of a cool thing that they added to the match, where basically he had to lose or win the match himself. I kind of wish they'd do this like today with maybe have, this is just an example, like Roman Reigns get into a match like this where the only way the match can end is if he wins or if he gets pinned. That'd be a cool thing to happen. Or if you had the 24/7 title still.
God, no. No, let that die. No, let that die. Let that die.
Oh, and I'm saying it is dead, but I would like to see a champion have this happen again, where the champion has to be the one that's beaten to get the title, because that's a cool concept.
Yeah, I like the stipulation.
Good, yeah. Stipulation's good.
So, I think the best way to break down this match is just to go over it. Basically, it's a big spot. It's really
there was
a lot of people like to call
very little of which involved Taz.
Yes, and but before I even get to my rant on Taz, the match was actually good. But so the fucking beginning spots of this are they go to the fucking ramp. Crash is trying to get away, and he's climbing up one of the structures, the swinging trusses that look like the fucking the hooks for Backlash. So he's climbing up there. At one point, I don't know who it was, but there's a front suplex that gets performed on one of them, and it just fucking breaks and falls the fuck apart. I think Crash is the one who took this poor guy.
He was.
I'm shocked that this went as smoothly as it did, because this could have been bad. This could have ended real bad for him. Because if one of those things ended up going the opposite way, he's got a broken rib at least.
Yeah.
So then there was another point where somebody took another bump and they landed in between the goddamn upward pointing struts of the broken piece of stage prop. 2 inches left or right, and they got a punctured lung.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the biggest surprise that was in the match was the fact that it's Matt Hardy that does the dive off of the Backlash structure, not Jeff. Because usually you would expect Jeff to do something like that, but it was Matt that actually went off. I know Jeff does it.
And you notice Matt does it a lot safer than Jeff.
Yeah. I know Jeff does a big thing later where he goes onto the Backlash, I believe Jim Ross called it the Backlash superset. He does a swan, he does a Hurricane, and he uses the Backlash super.
That was cool. That was a cool spot. Yeah.
Because you could correct me if I'm wrong. Because during the entrances, these Backlash supersets, the hooks, would swing back and forth during the entrances.
Yeah. So they had him just swing with him. He swung the set himself, and then he went into the Hurricane Rana. I think that was a pretty cool spot, actually.
Yeah. Then everyone, and that's the beginning portions of the match. Everyone starts fighting ringside. I'm just gonna say, I think Crash's only offense in the match is just a drop kick. He just gets wrecked in this match. He gets destroyed.
So fucked. So at one point, Matt and Jeff are using cookie sheets or baking sheets, and they, basically the stuff that sounds good but doesn't actually hurt but looks like it hurts. And they're just using basically their weapon of choice the whole match. They use innovative ways to use the fucking cookie sheet. I think at one point, Jeff Hardy does the ass bump leg drop into with the fucking cookie sheet. I don't know. I think it was to Taz. And everybody is getting shit in. Even Crash gets a little bit of shit in because basically Crash's whole gimmick is he's getting the shit kicked out of him anyway, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they give fucking Taz nothing to do. I think he hit like all of 2 to 3 suplexes and a Taz mission, and that was it.
He does like it. I think I know the Taz. He brings out an extension cord, and I think he uses like the Taz mission with the extension cord.
And screams to one of the Hardy Boys. I think he does it too. I think it was Matt Hardy to choke. Holly is just being really mean with the weapon shots to the point where it was kind of uncomfortable. Like he's just smashing people over the head with weapons and shit.
Is it bad for me to say that Karma came to bite Hardcore Holly when he got powerbombed by Brock with all the times he's been stiff with people in the ring? Is it bad to say that?
No, I agree. I agree.
But anyhow, I think the one criticism of the match maybe we can say is the match looked sloppy at times, especially like they would do things where like someone would go for a pin and they would break it up, and it got a bit excessive, I think. I get they were trying to get that gimmick over and stuff, but it just looked sloppy, I think, sometimes. Like, in my opinion, it did anyway. So.
No, I agree.
Yeah. I like this match, even though they didn't use fucking Taz as much. Like, it wouldn't have bothered me, but then the finish happens.
Well, of course, I want to mention the ladder spots.
Fucking Hardy's using the ladder as like a battering ram. Yeah, that was cool.
Mm-hmm, that was cool. And then like Jeff Hardy does like a split leg drop with the ladder and stuff. This was when they were doing, like the ladder got a big pop when that came out, and that was like pretty cool. So, and then eventually, you want to talk about the finish, James? Because I when I saw this finish, James, I'm like, yep, they did it. Let's also remind you, this is actually. Because I feel like the other times we've ranted about Taz, like the Kurt Angle thing had come and went. This is not long after he debuts, too. He's only in the company, what, like
3 months, yeah. He's in the company for like 3 months. They already are starting to de-push him because he was a little bit too rough with Angle, which by that point Taz was just like, all right, whatever. I'm just going to do whatever and just get paid. Which... That's why I get so fucking mad when I see Taz misused like this. Because it was literally, what the fuck did you bring Taz in for?
I can answer you that question, like, legitimately.
Go ahead, then, because
They literally bought Taz just to shelve him.
Great.
That's literally the reason. No hyperbole or, like, theory. It has been confirmed that Taz was being bought to be shelved.
You had ways to still use him even if your plan initially was to shelve him. There's a light heavyweight title, for fuck's sake, that just had one of the matches on the night up to this point. You don't put him in that? No, he's a hardcore guy because ECW.
I'm surprised that they didn't just let him and Angle just have a match tonight.
Or have them in a team.
Because Angle's on the card.
Right.
Angle has a match.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Against a useless fucking opponent.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
But I'm setting up.
Yeah.
But Angle and Taz have a naturally really good pace together in the ring when they're told, go the fuck out there and make me money.
Yeah.
No.
I'd agree.
This annoys me because even if they bought him to shelve him, don't then fucking bury him on the way of shelving him to the point of irrelevance. That's what pisses me off. Like, at that point, it's just like, you'd be better off just fucking making him a commentator right from jump. Because this finish infuriated me. He gets hit with a fucking stop sign, right? Like, full on in the head, hits with the stop sign, right? I have seen Taz take way fucking worse. In ECW, and even in the fucking WWF, I've seen him take way worse and get back up, no problem. He takes this fucking stop sign as he's got the Kajahajime locked in. I don't know who he has it locked into, but then he gets smashed, I think, by Hardcore Holly with a fucking stop sign, because of course.
Perry Saturn.
Oh, it was Perry Saturn. Great. Awesome. So somebody fucking brings Perry to the fucking outside, and they're brawling with him for no reason, and they do, I think Hardcore Holly does a fucked up spot, and it hurts Perry. And by this point, there was like fucking 30 to 40 seconds where Taz is just laid there, not moving a muscle.
Booker
And
T
Crash Holly
WrestleMania 19
fucking drapes an arm over him and pins him.
Yeah. A lot of people talk about how the Booker T WrestleMania 19 finish was a bit. That was a burial. This Taz burial would like to talk to you though.
Yeah.
This Taz.
For real.
May I respond to this just for one thing about Taz
Go ahead.
that I believe would be a theory on why they're just shelving Taz like this low into the spectrum.
Yes.
I think it has to do with the fact of his first ever match in the Fed, where they just called him out and said that he was dangerous when he was probably the safest worker out of most of everyone in the locker room.
Fucking
He even confirmed it. I mean, sure, did it look dangerous? Yeah, but he tried his best to make it look safe.
Yeah.
But no, you're from ECW. You guys aren't safe at all. So I'm just gonna push you down to the card and you get jobbed out by guys
you're in the
really
hardcore
don't
division.
deserve to.
Yeah. It pisses me off because it's like it's such a lame excuse, and it's like if you really bought him to shelve him, then like why didn't you at least put him in the light heavyweight title division and give him something to do? You had a division that you were doing nothing with, so you might as well do something with it while you have him. But whatever.
Yeah.
Hey man, you didn't do what I said to do, which was to tweet him and ask him.
No, because he even said it himself. I looked up interviews where he just like, yeah, that's the reason was I was dangerous, and it's just like, well, what the fuck's the point then? And that's why he just basically just sat low and did whatever the fuck they asked him.
When did Taz win the ECW title off of Mike Awesome?
This is I think it's short. Let me see if I can remember because I remember
this.
I think it's shortly after this because the reason I remember this is I remember Triple H as the WWF champion, and I think
him and Taz
right
get
before,
into a match,
yeah, but it's right before King of the Ring 2000, I think, because that's the time I think it would have been. It's not like the go home show or anything, but because I remember because Taz gets an injury, as we talked about going into Fully Loaded, so I'm pretty sure that it's right before King of the Ring, because it's definitely after Backlash. I think. I think it's definitely not after this show at least.
Okay, because I was gonna say, like, literally when he won that title, they put him up against Triple H.
Yeah.
And
I was like, yeah, well, like, I understand why, because he's ECW champion, and you have your WWF champion on your show. That makes sense.
Okay, great.
So, like, that makes sense. But, like, damn, dude, like, they dogged him like this whole
That's
year.
my point. If you're gonna fucking do this with him, and you're only doing it just for the sake of, oh, we have these two champions at the same time, but you're gonna job one of them out, don't
he's not the WWF
segment.
Champion. He's not the WWF champion.
Okay, then don't book the segment.
Well, no, okay, right. From a kayfabe standpoint, I don't even know if I want to make this point. From a kayfabe standpoint, it makes sense to have him because people know that he's just gone to ECW.
Right.
Like, it would have been like the hot thing like happening that week, right when that happened. So to have him go up against Triple H and like have a good match, because it was a good match from what I remember.
No, it wasn't.
Even
I
if
watched
it
the
was a
match.
good match, you need to rewatch it. It is a decent match. But like for that to happen, with him to actually even like bring the title on the show was like, here's a little bit, even though you're losing, like here's a little bit, and for you to do like a bit more. And they allowed him to do that as well, which was a good thing. I don't know if WWE paid him or if ECW had to pay him.
It would have been WWE. Paul
Okay.
Heyman beyond broke.
Okay. That's quite interesting, actually.
Um,
But yeah, anyway.
I'm really not sure. It's really tough to tell when like Taz. Let me think. So
It would have
Taz
been. It would have
loses
been
the-
after this. It would have been.
yeah,
it would have
because
been after
Taz
this
loses
match.
the. Maybe I think it was because Taz loses the belt on April 22nd, 2000. I almost said 2020, but 2000.
I have to.
And this took place. Oh, maybe it was before this because this show takes place on April 3rd, 2000. So I think it was.
Oh, that makes sense. Why he's fucking not giving a shit about this match then? Yep, makes sense.
Yeah.
then.
Okay, so that's why then, because Triple H got his hands on him.
Yeah.
That's why.
I'm fucking. I stand by this, and it's like, okay, it's a decent match in a vacuum. I respectfully disagree that it was decent at all, because the segment before, and I watched this entire fucking SmackDown, and I was
No, you watched the
so
Deadlock
annoyed.
episode. Don't lie to me.
No, I watched the fucking segment. I watched the segment, and I was like, the way they explained it was funny, and then I actually watched the episode, and I was just mad. Fucking Taz gets 0 of his catchphrases in that made him popular in ECW. Keep in mind, they're in fucking Philly, and he's not able to get anything that made him popular in ECW. He doesn't get a single fucking catchphrase in. And then he goes and has the fucking a nothing fucking match. When you break down all of Taz's fucking matches that he's ever had, he has a nothing fucking match with Triple H. Taka Michinoku got more fucking offense than Taz did on Triple H. That should tell you. And I love Taka, but that should tell you all you need to know. This fucking guy got nothing against Hunter. He got one Katajime in. He broke out of it immediately. They had Dreamer look like a fucking dope and hit him in the head with a fucking trash can, and that was the match. Pedigree over. He got buried, and so did the company.
I want to point this out, too. The Taka that gets all this offense on Triple H is the same Taka that was being buried in the, not the Kai and Tai Dojo.
Yes.
But the,
basically, the Kai and Tai Dojo, yeah. It was not great. Basically, Triple H really did pick and choose who the fuck he wanted to put over and who not.
So overall, you really like this match on Backlash?
This match is good.
The match was good. The finish sucked because I know what happens to fucking Taz after this.
Fucking asshole.
I'm gonna give the match a 3 3/4 stars. I really like the story they told, and I like that they had Crash Holly just barely get a win. But when you do watch the match in hindsight, though, it does suck more. Because once I saw Taz eat that pin, I'm like, of course Taz ate the pinfall.
It was the worst. It was the longest fucking. 30 to 40 seconds of his life just waiting there for somebody to drape an arm over him. Like, that was more egregious than fucking Booker. There, I said it, sue me. Like, that was fucking abysmal booking. Whoever agented that.
Let's start with Michael X this time. What do you think of this match overall? And I guess if you want to give your thoughts about, since it's a hot topic, about, what was going on with Taz here.
I'm gonna be honest, it was a piss take. I'm not gonna lie, this match is like nothing fucking happens in the entire match. Yeah, they did the scaffolding spot, which is really cool. And after that, I'm like, this is fucking boring, dude.
That's fair.
This is really fucking boring. Like, I'm not expecting a lot during this time period when it comes to, the hardcore division, because I'll be honest, they should have just let that die a death as fast as humanly possible, but hey, what are you gonna do?
Right.
But fuck me.
I'm like, yeah, this is awful.
That's
Like,
fair.
this is really, really fucking boring, and that's the worst type of match you can be.
I wasn't bored personally. I enjoyed it actually, probably more.
No, that's fine, but I have my reasoning
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
have yours.
That's
So
fair.
we can just disagree. We can just agree to disagree and then end it right off of that.
We agree
It's just-
though that the finish was wank.
It's just boring. It's really fucking
Please stop
boring.
saying this
Nothing
word, bro.
happens.
Please
What?
stop saying this word.
No, make
Okay.
me.
It's
Well, okay.
terrible.
Make me.
What am I
No,
wrong?
James.
No,
I
it's
said
James,
wank and
Bro, this is
James, there's this thing called cultural appropriation. and
bro.
that's-
Just because you don't have a culture doesn't mean you can steal mine.
I'm enjoying. I used the fucking shit.
Awesome. Oh,
What
don't
about-
get upset.
I'm not getting upset.
You're getting upset.
But Mike, do you want to add anything about the Taz discussion?
Like, okay, I'll put it like this. If you're expecting Taz to go out there and fucking be the man, the myth, the legend himself, you're expecting way too much from this match.
No, I know.
Like, I'm just gonna be honest.
I like your idea
It's
from Fully
fine.
Loaded, by the way.
Yeah, it would have been better.
What was your idea?
Don't remember.
Your
Let's go
idea
watch
was
the
for
video.
him to go to Japan.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Makes more sense. Hey, pass Mike. You made more sense.
Speaking of Mike, let's go to Mike Nikos with his thoughts on his
Oh,
match.
good segue.
With his thoughts on this match, and if you want to add anything to the Taz, I mean, I think you kind of said everything you wanted about the Taz. Then
I mean, yeah, like I said with Taz, as soon as his debut match happened where they called him dangerous, that's what he was labeled at for the rest of his WWF career, where he didn't even get a chance to, like, defend himself or do anything about it. So, like what Mike said, if you're expecting to see the machine, like the war machine that is Taz, this match is not it. But however, certain parts of the match was actually pretty good. Like, I think the funniest part was they took the set pieces, like the meat hook swings, they brought it down, and I'm just imagining the set piece director in the back is probably just punching holes in walls out of frustration. Like, motherfuckers, do you not understand how long it took me to set that up?
Right?
You assholes.
That wasn't a 10-minute thing. That took me the whole afternoon. I sat there for hours. No. Let's get this right. Hours. Making sure that everything was right. And you're tearing apart my shit? Are you out of your monkey-ass mind?
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, apparently The Rock was the set designer for the night.
No, that was rock bottom. There we go.
But yeah, as for my star rating, I would give this a 3. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
it's not bad, but it's not good either. It's like in between.
I think no. If it was not bad but not good, I'd say it's 2.5. But there were some decent spots to it to bump it up to a 3. I think, to be honest.
Yeah, like the crashing the set pieces.
Yeah, the crashing the set pieces. There were some good weapon spots, especially by the Hardys, who, let's be honest, boys, carried this fucking match. Like,
they did.
You mean the Hollies?
No, the Hardys. Hollies didn't do fucking shit. Like, Crash knew what his job was. He was a crash test dummy. That's what he was tonight.
I'll lay on the ground. Okay?
Like I said,
I'm
if
just
he does-
laying down.
He has one drop kick in the match. That's it, really.
He had one
So-
drop kick, and
He did
then
a job.
and then he got the pin, and then he won. That was his job,
Yeah.
and he did a job well. And then fucking Hardcore was just a stiff as shit. Fucking, I'm gonna hit you with weapon shots unprotected. So I would say
So-
the Hardys fucking carried this shit.
So, Casey, any additional thoughts you have about this match, and do you want to add anything new to the Taz
I
conversation?
don't really have anything to add. I'd probably say this is a 2 3/4 match for me.
That's fair.
Anything about Taz?
He was done, and you could tell.
I would have been
Not,
too.
not necessarily like physically, but just creatively and in terms of motivation, you could see it in his face. He was done.
I would have been too if I was him. Seriously, like that. If you're labeled as fucking dangerous when you've been anything but your entire career, that has to suck.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Sabu's neck would disagree.
Yeah, but that's like one fucking freak accident.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck me.
Sabu's
Like,
neck would disagree.
Joe fucking broke Tyson Kidd's neck. He was still pushed to the fucking moon. Well, kinda.
Joe is still fucking dangerous. I don't know why people think he is.
But wrestling is
totally
not.
dangerous.
My point is, wrestling isn't ballet, right? Like, it's a fucking dangerous sport.
That's exactly what it is, isn't it? Like in a technical term.
Well, I mean, I'm talking as far as the physical part. It's very fucking more demanding.
Jack, you're
physically.
ruining my fucking kayfabe.
It's
my bad, bro.
The
My kayfabe.
idea that we have to be fucking safe all the fucking time. Like, dude, you're getting slammed in a fucking ring. If you take a fucking suplex, just fucking land right. It takes 2 to tango. Piss off. Like,
James Hebert,
get over yourself.
Well-known history of being an athlete in the ring.
Hey, all I know is I backyard wrestling was a thing, and I didn't complain when I got concussions. So.
Yes, all 3 matches you had.
Hey, listen, still did it.
Yeah. Kiss my ass and suck my balls.
Can I just say that before we move on to the next match? Is it kind of weird that I actually wanted Perry Saturn to be the MVP of the match?
Dude, you're not the only one.
Yeah. But he was just there. He was just there, though.
Oh, true, he was there, but if you look at his match history, aside from WCW, he was just a whole different type of breed.
Let's be honest, dude. It wasn't just him. It was him and Cronus.
Oh, yeah, true.
It was the Eliminators.
Total elimination!
Anyway,
So,
let's move on.
Brujon, anything else you want to say about the match? I mean, I feel like you said everything you wanted about Taz.
Yeah, I've talked way too much about this. No,
talk more.
Oh yeah. No, the match it's boring. There's not really a lot to it. It's slow and it's not choreographed, but it's a hardcore match. They weren't. So it's whatever. No, I think I think the point just stands with Taz of just I think he probably would have been better off if he wanted to be smart about it and if he wanted to make a ballsy move, maybe go to Japan. But then he has to get those connections in Japan.
Yeah.
But maybe he was
would've been
happy.
able to get them.
Yeah, but maybe he was happy just getting that money and looking at his career, not wrestling career, but his career and his life now. He seems happy, so I'm happy for him now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've met.
That's
you,
fair. I
Sometimes
still-
you're gonna call your brother on Twitter though.
Yeah, right. I still wish better for him, though. Still, even to this
He's
day,
great.
I think he
Nah,
deserves
dude, he gets-
way more than he
Dude,
got.
he gets paid he gets paid for an hour's worth of content every week and gets paid a salary rate for an hour's worth of content every week.
Which is fine, yeah. I mean,
He gets paid money, and those are the best segments. AEW Dark is fucking hilarious. I like
Yeah.
Shivani. I like fucking JR. I love JR as a comic.
Taz is actually when he's serious too. He's really good on Dynamite as well. He's been in the JR role on Dynamite recently, and he's been killing it.
Him and Excalibur just have a good chemistry that I think if you're Tony Khan and you fucking listen and steal more of our content, goddamn, because he does. Do us all a favor and just be listen, we're going to give fucking JR a retirement salary. He can go back to fucking commentating for Oklahoma football. We're going to let Tony do what he needs to do. We'll give him a pay-per-view payday, but we're going to keep him just for pay-per-views and stuff. And just let fucking Excalibur and Taz do their thing. They have a good chemistry.
I would agree, but Shivani does add to the booth if you're gonna do a 3-man booth. At least those three work well.
That's why you should use him for pay-per-views. That's it. Yeah. Shivani's too big to be put on a weekly television spectacle. He needs to be put on.
I think he should just be the fucking Mean Gene, and they should actually let him fucking talk.
Oh, you think he's gonna be like? I'm here with somebody. The sign fell. Fuck it.
I would love that actually if they did a fucking
That'd be awesome.
funny to that. So, all right,
That would be
we're
hilarious.
waffling. We're waffling. Can we go?
Going over the career, because the only ones we don't have are the Hollies. Crash Holly, we've talked about a little bit in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, he
2001
passed
retro.
way too fucking soon. Like,
Yeah.
that's all
As
we
for,
need to say.
Hardcore Holly, he would continue his stint in the mid card. He had a couple stints in WWE, right? Didn't he leave and come back? I know, or did it? I'm pretty sure he left and came back at one point.
Yes.
I believe so.
And then
he was a dick both times.
Yeah, and then he did his thing in the ECW rebranding. The biggest notable thing he did was he took that suplex, that nasty back bump suplex through the table. Tag team with Cody Rhodes, which kind of sucked in my opinion, but that's what it is. And then lost the tag titles, and then quietly left the business. I think he just works indie shows mainly. He's done a few Impact appearances. The last thing I remember him did, he did an interview on the Bump, just talking about his career in a nutshell. Minus him being stiff, they didn't really ask him about that.
Wait, did he just get jobbed out by his own tag team partner, and then they made a new team, and he just left the company?
Yes, that's exactly what
What
happened.
a fucking loser!
Yeah.
Think about it, Cody Rhodes is the only person to defeat himself for a championship.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Cody.
He defeated himself for a belt.
Yeah. Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes. Priceless.
So did Cody even lose the belt then? Because he lost and won a belt in one night. So
I think it just transferred.
I don't know. It's such a weird thing. I'll just say he is the only one to hold the belt with two different partners by losing a match and also winning a match.
No, yeah, losing a match and winning a match. Yes.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
On.
Next, Jonathan Coachman interviews Shane McMahon, and he basically said he's going to be an impartial referee, but he's just talking a bunch of BS. So
Get the hell out of my
Kurt
head. I was just gonna say that.
Yeah. Then it's Kurt Angle versus Big Show. The reason behind this match was it was weird. So basically, this was when this is when the face and heel turns really started for the Big Show. He I think I turned 4 times within this year alone. It's not even a year he's been in the company.
Times in this fucking match.
Yeah. Let's just.
The reason for the match was the Big Show had lost. He was the first guy eliminated at WrestleMania 2000. So he wanted to change up his career and try to go Hollywood. And this is the start of when he come out and he would be a different gimmick every week. One week he was Shokishi. One week he was the Big Shaboski. I don't think that's what he called it, but that's what I'm calling it. One week he was he was from Scotland one week. And Triple H told Kurt Angle that he was going to give him a tag team title match. It was Kurt Angle versus Edge and Christian, and his tag team partner was the Big Show. And obviously Kurt Angle was happy about this on SmackDown. But then he came out and did that Scottish thing, and it led to them losing the match. And Kurt Angle got sick and tired of the Big Show not taking his career seriously, and he wanted to do something about it. And then the Big Show got pissed off at Kurt Angle for slapping him in the face on that episode of SmackDown. So it led to this match here. Kurt Angle comes out and he just rags on Washington D.C. He rags on all the politics and stuff. He talks about how he's the only honest man in the company and the only honest American. He did some pretty good stuff here. It was pretty funny. And then Hulk Hogan's theme song goes off, and I think a lot of people are probably thinking, "What's going on here?" Because he's in another company.
I got you. So Real American plays over the PA system, and then I'm just gonna call it like I see it. Make way for Willie! Oh my god, bro! He comes out. He's got the Hogan getup on. He's got the yellow trunks.
Yeah.
And his fucking wang is hanging out. It's right there, bro.
Hulk Hung showed up today.
Dude, I couldn't believe it. Was so noticeable. No cup. full cock and balls, just showing through this thing. You couldn't,
the Python brother.
bro. It wasn't even 10 inch.
10-inch nightmare.
Bro, it was like they call you the Big Show. Yeah, okay, buddy. He's fucking doing the fucking.
It was awesome.
He's the small package.
Bro, the fucking
What if he had
camera.
finished it with a small package roll up?
That would have been
This
great.
cog right in his face.
Bro, the camera people even notice it. Kevin Dunn is like frantically trying to tell the cameramen. I can just imagine him over the PA system. Pin up, pin up, pin up! Fucking trying to get away from the fucking crotch area of the Big Show, dude.
Cameraman 13.
Pin up,
Cameraman
pin
13,
up,
please
pin up.
move it away. Move it away, please. Please, the hog is out. The hog is out. Please remove camera from there. The hog is out.
What?
Bro.
Moving the camera? Okay.
I couldn't. You couldn't not see it, dude. It was right there.
Dr. Manhattan over here.
So then
Gone
it's
crazy.
JR calls him the Showster. So the Showster comes out and he cuts a Showster style promo.
He does a Hulk
Impersonating
Hogan
Hulk
impression down to a T, by the way, to be
Yeah, because it
fair.
was fucking with Hogan for almost 5 years.
Yeah, true.
And then
Jack.
Kurt Angle attacks the Showster from behind. He hulks up, and the Showster starts going off on Kurt Angle. He hits the big boot and the atomic leg drop. I guess by canon standpoint, then Hulk Hogan's leg drop's more powerful than the Big Show's because Kurt Angle.
Oh, no, hold on. Let's get this right. He hit him with the leg up and then the big whoopsie, and that's what he beat him with. Don't
Yup.
bullshit. He hit a leg drop. That wasn't a fucking leg drop. That was him just tripping.
That's actually not the finish though, because Kurt Angle actually kicked
No,
out
it
of
is.
it.
Yeah, he kicked out, and then he does a really good shot block, and then he gets, like, slight offense for, like, a while, and then Big Show gets bad, and then Big Show starts fucking making a comeback, and now he's the Big Show again, and then he does the
And he
fucking
choke
show
slams
slam and beats Kurt, dude.
Yeah.
If it was any other performer in this would have been a burial.
Mm-hmm.
This would have been a
This
burial. Like, there's no way that Angle should have been able to survive this unscathed. Like, there's no way.
I think that, I was going to talk about it, like, that just shows you how talented Kurt Angle was, and that he was able to survive. Not to survive, remember, too, because he also gets buried by Taker, in my opinion, anyways, at Fully Loaded 2000.
He does,
Kurt Angle
yeah.
is such a talent. He could survive anything. That's how much of a talent he is.
He fucking
Big
became
talent again.
champion. He actually became a champion, what, like, fucking...
No Mercy 2000.
So that would have been, like, 6 months after this.
Yeah, so it's like...
Like, that's...
Yeah.
You wouldn't have believed it if you saw this.
I can give this, like... I don't even know what... I give this, like... I think a 1.
I'm just gonna say non-applicable because I by the time I got to the main event, I completely forgot this match happened, and I think it's just my brain's like, nope.
Yeah.
It noped it out of existence. That's what my
Funny
brain
thing
did.
Rightly so.
Yeah. Let's just go around the horn.
No, don't you dare say the horn when Big Show's horn was out. Don't you dare! Don't you dare! No, you dare!
Tell him how it is, Owen.
No.
Tell him how it is.
We're going around it.
No, we're not going around no horn. I don't want to go around the Big Show's horn. No.
It's not okay. No,
Let him know, bro. Let him know.
James, just start. You're going around it first. Let's start with you, buddy.
Oh God! All right, then I'll go to Casey. No, I don't like the horn. I say
it was 6 out of 7 inches. Get out of here,
Come on,
fuck
James. You gotta give your
this.
thoughts on this.
Not applicable. I said my thoughts. Casey, go.
Dud.
yeah. Just like his dick. Hey, Nikos.
It was 2 out of 5 centimeters.
God damn.
Who's on?
Kuza.
Dude, this match was awesome. I don't care what anyone says. Dude. This match was sick.
It was so bad it's good.
It was awesome. No, dude, this match was like awesome. Like I never like had a genuine like good time like more than watching this match. You
I
know,
had-
obviously the Dean Malenko match was like good for like one reason, but damn, dude, the fucking like watch along, like having like James fucking freak out, going like, oh well, he's me saying to James like, oh, like, well, you know for a fact that like Angle's gonna fucking pin him. He fucking lost, dude. Oh my
He
god.
lost the match.
You
Fucked.
know Angle wins, and then Angle immediately loses 45
I was
fucking
like,
seconds
fuck.
later.
Was
Dude,
it- I thought it was like
you
2 minutes.
never talk
You're-
again.
So you're telling me that you rate this match because it pissed me off, is what you're telling
This-
me, and traumatized
this
me at the same
match-
time.
Was
That's exactly
sick,
what it
dude.
is. Okay,
It
I
was
see how it is.
cool.
I see how it is. Okay.
Oh, wait. And last but certainly not least, Michael X's thoughts on this.
He just gave you 6 out of 7 inches. It's done.
Oh.
Dude, this match is something else.
So it's
Can you imagine looking at fucking show and going, that right there, that's what we need to beat the NWO. It's like, You can tell that he's taken the piss out of this NWO fucking mark as fast as humanly possible.
I just no way.
It's
bro.
so nuts. Like,
Bro, okay. Look, besides the fact
Oh,
that
here we go.
this it is the only reason you guys like this match is because it fucking traumatized me that his Wang was hanging out, because that's like the only reason I'm getting from this.
James, no, James. I want you to put this. James, put this from the perspective. Imagine instead of you, it's Chris Dodd, who's never seen this before, and he fucking does what you did. You would have said the same thing that we're saying right now. It was awesome.
No, not really. I
Yes,
probably
you
would have.
would've.
I actually probably would have agreed with Chris and been mortified with him.
Funny thing is,
No. It's fucking funny.
funny thing is, I saw this match like when I was like 11 when I first got into wrestling, and I didn't even realize why everyone was laughing about the Big Show's reign, and then I watched this match like last night, and it's like,
What have I
Big
done?
Show.
penis, big package.
What'd you think of it, Owen?
To be honest, I'm glad I was not the one that had to point out. I wasn't even going to talk about the Big Show. I was just going to say we saw a little bit more, too much of the Big Show and move on. James is the one that like had to do a full-on deep dive. Like,
Dude,
review of
it was
and everything like that.
it was mortifying.
We didn't see the big show. We saw the small show.
We saw the
Yeah.
fucking.
Was this
Here's the small show.
Well, Woody Pecker.
was this not one after two? By the way,
What's the matter?
GTV
The afraid of being called gay?
was this not on after the GTV segment where like
I
the Big
think
Show
so.
and Al Snow are like using the restroom together, and you could see, and it's basically applied there too.
Yeah,
I think
do you call you the Big Show? Yeah, just move on.
In all seriousness, I want to make a point.
Yeah.
Angle had the IC and European title. I'm fine with like this whole thing happening, but if they wanted to take it seriously, they would have paired someone up with Angle and have him win tag team titles, or had Angle go up against the tag team champions and win.
That'd be awesome.
That would
would've
have been
fucking
sick. Or like Angle at this time was goated, dude. Like Angle's sick. He's awesome. You know.
This time period to this day, I still say is probably some of Kurt's best work ever.
Like
Yeah.
Nico's put it best. He has the IC title, the European title. He has the golden medals, and he has hair.
We should.
Angle
forgot
with
about
hair.
that.
Angle
I mean, that's
with
the
hair was at his best.
I don't know. Listen, man. I don't know. We can have a debate about this. That angle might have been beast, but I don't know. Perk angle, brother. That was a whole
Oh, that's
other
so
shark.
bad.
That was a whole other shark.
Hang on. I'm missing one thing. Angle with European title, Intercontinental title, tag team title, gold medals, hair, and a broken neck.
That was peak
No,
angle.
no. Get it right. A broken freaking neck.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know,
I
man. All the other gold he had in TNA was pretty base too, and he had a broken neck there too. I'm just saying, it was a different show.
But it wasn't. It was.
What is your obsession with perked out Kurt?
Listen, man,
Was
I agree with what you're saying, but it's like 1A, 1B. It could go either way. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I know we've already touched on it. I think the biggest thing positive coming out of the match, though, was at least we could kind of sit around here and joke about it because Kurt Angle came out of the other side smelling like roses. Imagine how
Oh, of
differently we
course.
would feel had Kurt Angle not recovered from this loss.
Yes.
Like,
I more hated.
Oh my god, that would have killed the business.
Oh my god, yeah, I would have. I hated this. I only hated this match because the Big Show's pecker was out the whole time. Like that, I couldn't.
Big cock on the little
No
man.
fun zone, bro.
No.
Little
way.
cock on the big man.
Oh, you know what? I screwed up, actually. We have to go back. I
yeah.
skipped a match because we got busy talking about the Vince McMahon and Stephanie McMahon incest storyline. So we're going back to Big Boss Man and Bo Buchanan versus the Acolytes.
Yes.
Oh, dude.
My boy finally gets a W, and he fucking deserves it after getting his head almost caved in.
Dude. Bo Buchanan out here with, like, the sexiest son ever, dude. Ben Buchanan.
So there really wasn't like a reason for this match. I think it was just thrown onto the show. But I thought this was decent. The APA, Cannon, and Big Boss Man all brawl for a while. And the APA, well, not the APA, but the Acolytes dominate. Not the Dudleys. Bo Buchanan and Big Boss Man for a long time.
Just call them the big. Just listen. Just to simplify it, just call them the Big Boss Man.
The Big Boss Man.
The Big Boss Man. That's all you need. That's it. That's
There
it.
you go. Eventually, the Big Boss Men take over. They get the heat on Farouk for a while. And then eventually, Bradshaw gets the hot tag. And he hits a really cool clothesline from hell onto Bo Buchanan. And I never really noticed this until I watched this match. I never really noticed like how quick Bo Buchanan was because I never really seen him really.
Bo Buchanan
before.
was the MVP of this match, actually. Believe it or
Yeah,
not.
Look him
was.
move when he puts his mind to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when
By
he's
the
giving
way, we'll notice real quick, Bull fucking gets gassed, and that's because that
No,
vest
Bossman.
is on.
Bossman
No.
gets gassed.
Oh no. Bull gets gassed at a moment. You can clearly notice it. And that's because his fucking vest is on too tight.
Yep.
Whoever tied him up put it on way too fucking tight. He's having difficulty breathing, so you see him do a lot of exhales, but not a lot of inhales throughout the course of the night, which means he's having a difficulty getting inhales in. It's fucking nuts. It's something I noticed really quick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, considering the fact that he was suffering from oxygen deprivation on top of also getting concussed. Yeah, he was the MVP of this fucking match because he was moving like a son of a bitch here too.
Yeah. Eventually,
Bossman gets gassed like halfway through this match because all Farouk and Bradshaw do during the whole match is just kick the shit out of him. I don't know what it was. Jack, you said something about Hazen or whatever the fuck. Like Bossman was on the shit list for something.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on here, but like whatever happened, like should not have happened.
I
like
agree.
if this was clearly a hazing, what was happening with Bossman? Because like, dude, they were throwing him in and out of the ring. They were making him rebound like over and over again. Dude, there's no need for this shit.
No.
Like, come on.
Yeah. Eventually, the Acolytes seem to have the match won, but behind the referee's back, Big Bossman hits Bradshaw with his nightstick, which allows Bo Buchanan to get the win.
His fucking bro. Let's talk about this. He got concussed off the clothesline you talked about, Owen. Off the clothesline from hell, he's legitimately concussed, and you can tell in the look of his eyes after the match. So, Bull's concussed. Dude goes to the top fucking rope, concussion city and all, hits a fucking guillotine leg drop to the back of fucking Bradshaw's head somehow. and gets the fucking W.
Yeah.
Did you
MVP.
see the way he got up the ropes, by the way? I don't know if anyone saw that. He just like pulled himself up backwards from a seated position in the bottom corner. He just pulled himself up and did a backflip. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
He's so underrated. He's so underrated, man.
So get hit with the fucking bull cannon. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was what it
Man,
was called.
Ben
The fucking
Buchanan,
bull. Yeah, the
sexiest
bull
man
cannon.
in the business.
Bro,
Sexiest man in the business.
I wish this team lasted longer. To be honest, unironically, I
No,
think this
because
was.
you got the better team with him in it.
Yeah,
Because he
sure.
wasn't
Right to
part of
censor. Yeah, that's true. Right to censor.
I
Yeah.
fucking love the right to censor. The good fuck. What a great idea for a gimmick. Honest to God.
Yeah, but still, like him with Boss Man was a natural fucking look. I don't know what it was, but like it looked great.
But yeah, I'll give you guys my perspective on the match. So, I watched Pod's Fun Known, and I watched the top 10 list that Adam Blomplay makes every week. And he made a top 10 list recently called like 10 bad matches on awesome pay-per-views. This was the match that was on the list, so I was like, oh, great, now I'm going to watch this match. And I'm like, wait, this match ain't that bad. It's actually pretty decent.
I don't know what Adam Blompier, brother. I like you and all, but like, what are you smoking? Because there was a match. There was a tag match.
Yeah, you didn't like him in
Bro,
2016.
Tag match here. I'd love to know something. A tag match that you had. When was it? A tag match after this was way more boring than this fucking thing. I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about.
You can talk over me all you want. You know it's true.
Yeah.
What did I say? What the fuck did I say in 2016? Since you want to bring it up, go ahead.
It was over his fucking sex addict, like.
Okay, which he admittedly said he deserved. So do I really need to apologize for that? Okay,
that was funny.
That was 2017, by the way.
Anyway.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Whatever.
I thought this was good.
Go ahead, Owen.
But I thought this match was good, though. I gave it like 3 stars. It was good stuff. I thought it was.
Yeah, I agree.
This was really good, yeah. And the only reason why, though, let's not kid around the bush. It's because Bull carried the fucking match because Bradshaw and Farouk were too busy hazing Boss Man.
Yeah, dude, like, whatever was happening, like, shouldn't have happened, but, like, it's fucking whatever. Like, I'm glad that they got the victory.
Yeah.
So, Nikos, your thoughts on this match? I forgot to cover earlier.
No, it's cool. This was a really well done type of match type. Like, I got really into it. It was fun from beginning to end. I would give this like 4-star match.
Oh wow!
There you go.
4-star. I agree.
That fucking clothesline from hell on Bull, though.
And again,
Dude,
maybe
if I was Vince in gorilla position, I'd be like, bro, you need to calm the fuck down.
If I was Vince, I would have socked him my goddamn self. Seriously.
Like, bro, he fucking hit
that
him.
was ridiculous. So unnecessary.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just say this real quick. Maybe my rating for the match would be different because like I thought the match was gonna be crap going into it, but I was like, whoa, this ended up being pretty good. Like, so, maybe because Adam Blomplay like saw this match, it's like the worst match on the card. But the way he describes it in his list, he makes it sound like it's like a really crappy match.
No, the worst match on the card is fucking Show and Kurt.
Yeah.
By a mile.
Because by a country mile, dude.
But yeah, Casey, your thoughts on this match? I forgot to cover earlier.
Say 3 1/4. Hazing aside, this was a pretty good match.
Yeah. Now let's go back to where we're actually supposed to be on the show. We have the Dudley Boys versus TNA with Trish Stratus ringside.
This is the actual boring match.
Yeah, this was kind of a piss take match, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. So this is probably the worst of like the 3 tag matches on the show. So basically the storyline here was this was at that time where Bubba Ray Dudley was pretty much a womanizer, except instead of having sex with them, he wanted to put all the women through tables pretty much. And he had done it to all like...
What a description, by the way. Go ahead.
That's the best way I can explain it. That's what it was.
You're not wrong.
So he wanted to...
God damn it, Owen, hold on. What the fuck are you two doing? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Thank you so much, Jack. I'm photoshopping the shit out.
What's going on now? Where is it? Where is this? Where
It's
is this?
FTW main chat, Jack. Really?
I'm so glad you brought this, you motherfucker.
You couldn't have waited until after the show.
That's so awesome.
Yep.
Oh,
Perfect time to get there too. But
Go on, Owen. Carry on. Sorry,
pretty
man.
much, so Bubba Ray Dudley really wanted to put Trish Stratus through a table, and it got to a point where we questioned if he wanted to put her through a table or if he actually had
fuck
like
her
some
on the
type of
table.
yeah.
I say why not both in Bubba Ray's
Yeah, so
fucked up
it led
head.
to a lot. It led to a lot of strange videos by Trish Stratus. There'd be points where he'd go to put Trish Stratus through a table, but
She really wanted
Trish
to
Stratus-
polish the wood.
yeah, Trish Stratus pretty much made out with Bubba Ray Dudley. He would go into a trance, which would help her get out of it, and it would allow TNA to get the upper hand on, the Dudleys. And that's basically the storyline. It was pretty good. Before the match, TNA get interviewed, and they basically just talk more about the storyline. I really don't remember anything like too specific about the.
Basically,
Um,
all right. Basically, Trish Stratus, for whatever reason, was seducing Michael Cole, and then Albert, for whatever reason, pulled Michael Cole back. It's like,
Yeah.
no. And then
Yeah.
Trish is like, I think Bubba Ray is showing his true passion, and I'm gonna show him what passion's all about. Bubba, you got the screen cap of him just staring at the fucking TV. Just
Yeah.
Here, I'll do a reenactment. This is him.
Fuck. Dude, that screenshot of him staring in front of that fucking VHS, like, TV, that is fucking funny.
Yeah.
It's like a shocking revelation. He's like an ultimate betrayal that's about to unfold.
It fucking killed me.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So then,
You're
Devon
telling me
Dudley
that
comes
we
up.
have to kiss on television?
And then Devon tries to like hype him up, like, stop getting distracted by tits and ass. We got a job to do, and we're gonna do.
Pissing me
You're
off.
pissing me off. We got a job to do. We're gonna do it better than anybody else. Testify. All
Really
right?
good promo by Devon, by the way.
Yeah,
I thought
Devon
that
is an underrated fucking mic talker.
He's
Shout
really
out.
good.
Shout outs, Devon.
Going through the match, the Dudleys come out, and it leads to a big brawl. Bubba Ray Dudley tries to go after Trish Stratus, but this causes him to get cut off by Albert, and eventually TNA take control for a bit, but then eventually the Dudley boys just dominate and just absolutely destroy TNA. Haha, that's funny to say that nowadays.
By the way, Billy Corgan was in the fucking crowd, so he was watching TNA while,
Yeah, that's
later
funny.
we go on to purchase TNA.
Well, not purchase it, but like become like owner of it.
Yeah, his band's.
He went on it for a short while.
Yeah. And then he ran NWA to the fucking ground. Anyway.
No, not yet, but it's getting there.
Only time will unfold.
And then eventually TNA take control when they hit the Irish Whip, Splash, followed by the Big Boot by Test.
Love this tag maneuver by Test and Albert.
Yeah.
It's like the
This would
one
be a-
thing that was awesome about them.
Yeah, it should honestly be that should have been their finish. And then TNA dominates. Like it's Devon for a while. Eventually, Bubba gets the hot tag, and he starts going off on everybody. Eventually, the Dudleys go for the 3D, and right when Bubba's about to actually perform the cutter version of the 3D, he gets distracted by Trish Stratus, and this leads to the finish, where TNA get a win. It's like a really weird win.
Basically,
understand-
Trish Stratus comes up to the apron. Bubba's in a trance again, and Bubba's distracted. He gets turned around into a big boot by Test. Now, when Bubba lands, boy, the jiggle physics were real. I mean, Trish is standing on the apron. The whole ring shakes, and so does her ass, because that's how gravity works.
Only James will notice this.
Bro, it was It was heavenly.
And then after this,
it was the opposite of.
Generation 6.
It was opposite Big Show Wang. So
Noted
and
ass.
afterward, so after TNA win, the Dudleys get right back up and they attack TNA.
yeah, so TNA
Bubba
win,
Ray-
and then that don't even matter. They get their heat back immediately.
Yeah. Bubba Ray Dudley hits a front face neck breaker onto I believe Tess, and then Albert takes the 3D, or it might have been vice versa. I really don't remember. And then afterwards, they grab the tables, and he's about to powerbomb Trish Stratus through the table, but she seduces him to get out of it. But this time it doesn't work, and he ends up powerbombing her off of the top turnbuckle, or more the second turnbuckle, through the table. They leave. The ambulance
Oh no,
comes.
they don't leave just yet. They don't leave just yet. You have the pog face of a lifetime on Bubba Ray Dudley.
Bubba, because of course, yes, I
Yeah.
put a woman through the table. Poggers.
And then they leave, and then afterwards, Trish Stratus gets taken to a medical facility afterwards. So, overall, I give this match like a 2. It's really not much of a match. It's more of an angle type of thing. But I really don't understand why they had TNA win just to immediately just get their ass kicked.
Yeah,
anyways.
it was a 2-star match, and the angle got the crowd back into the fucking thing. So
Yep.
yeah,
There you go.
That sounds about right to me.
yeah. I don't know what else we can really add to this, boys. Do you, Nikos?
I'd honestly give it like a 2.5-star match. The only reason why I'm giving it a half star is because of the ending where they just powerbombed the shit out of Trish Stratus through the table.
Yeah.
Though I was kind of upset that they didn't light the table on fire, though. But that's a different story.
Why, bro? Okay, yeah, we gotta talk, man, because that is so
No, we don't,
hazardous.
bro. He just
No. Because if you do that, she has the implants, and that bubbles up, and
Oh yeah, James doesn't know how anatomy works for some reason. About
But
like
I would think that if you put a flaming table, and what if her implants caught on fire, bro? I don't know.
Did you know how like skin tissue works?
Dude, James. Sorry for cutting you off, Jack, but James, the whole reason why I wanted the table to be on fire was just to be a callback to ECW.
Okay, but
That's all I wanted.
but I don't believe it. I mean, I don't believe they did a flaming powerbomb spot even to a woman. I know they 3D'd a woman. That's about it.
Well, I mean, you didn't watch enough ECW.
Why did they actually powerbomb a woman through a flaming
they
table?
did.
Oh. It was the woman that Bubba Ray said the daughter was taught how to suck dick by her mom.
She
Is that
told
the
her
one?
to suck dick. Funniest fucking bit ever.
Oh god.
So good.
But then, immediately, Eddie Guerrero and China arrived from Guam.
Oh,
And-
No! Okay, so I figured out what this was. I finally figured this out. They got back from celebrating that Eddie Guerrero passed his GED.
Yeah. So it's Guam. Cause
His prom.
and
yeah.
he gets told he has to go out to the ring and have his title match now, or else he forfeits. And I like that he didn't get mad like normally he'll like, oh, this isn't fair, I have to compete right now, I'm not even ready. He was just so lackadaisical about it. He was like, oh,
He's like-
whatever.
Well, let's say.
It was pretty good.
fucking, hey, mamacita, let's ride into the arena, olale. And I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna drive a car to the arena for the first time. The Loris
Yeah.
begins here.
So yeah, they go to the arena, and it's a European Championship match. Eddie Guerrero with China defending against SS Rios and SSC. That's Juan, isn't it?
It's essay.
S.A. SS Rio.
Wolfen SSA Rios.
SS
Rios? Oh boy.
Yeah, that don't sound good.
He defended against Rios with Rio ringside.
SS Rios. I must have dreamed 1,000 dreams.
Oh yeah, that's SS Rios. I probably should have used my notes for that one.
Because what are you laughing about? Because I know what I'm laughing about.
So S.A. Rios, the reason for this match was that Eddie Guerrero and China had just gotten together as an act, Eddie Guerrero for months.
Oh,
before
you
WrestleMania
piece of
2.
shit, Mike!
What do you do?
Go to the main chat. Go to the main chat. Go to the main chat.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Oh my god.
I'll make it look better. Don't worry.
You know what sucks the most is the fans don't even know what we're even like looking at. Right
Oh
now.
no, yeah, no.
Hold on.
There's the thumbnail.
Yeah, you know what? No, I got you. Window capture. Let's get Discord
This is what
up.
we've
That's not
been
gonna.
looking
No,
at.
hold on, James. Give me a second. carry on. Talk about what you talk about.
Nobody can get in even if I show this, so it's whatever. Actually,
Hold on.
so as we're fucking reviewing this, I'm just gonna show this.
Amazing, Jeremy. That's looking
No. So I'm showing the main chat. This is what we're dealing with here on this side. Just the boys chatting shit in the thing.
Oh, shut up. It's funny as fuck.
It's funny. Oh my
No one
god.
escapes.
Casey, this is what the watch along should look like from now on. This is Bubba Ray looking at the screen, and whatever we're watching will appear on the television.
Oh my god.
That would be fucking
That would be great.
I could cut him out of frame without too many problems.
Oh my
I
god.
know.
Please go back to your old layout. Oh my god, I beg. Please.
Oh,
Wait, is that Kuzma's new thing now?
No, please go.
Yeah.
No, please. Please. At least have your fucking icon there. The front moving.
oh, that's fucking awesome.
All right. Anyway. Owen, carry on.
I'm gonna keep working on that. Don't worry.
Carry on what you were talking about.
Christ.
So, Eddie Guerrero, the reason for this European Championship match is Eddie Guerrero and S.A. Rios had just... No,
There
sorry,
you
Eddie
go.
Guerrero and China had just gotten together as an act. Eddie Guerrero had been trying to date China going into WrestleMania 2000, and eventually China finally turned on Chris Jericho and went with Eddie Guerrero. And this act was like really starting to get over and stuff like that. Eddie Guerrero went to... Eddie Guerrero finished his GED and got his GED for China, which led to them going to the prom. During this, though, China and Lita were developing some type of partnership, and it led to some tag matches together, but there'd be miscommunications where Lita would accidentally nail Eddie Guerrero. So eventually China lashed out at Lita and completely took her out, which caused her to get put through a table by Bubba Ray Dudley at one point. And it led to this European Championship match where I believe S.A. Rios got like a pinfall victory over Eddie Guerrero at one point. So there you go. Really good match here for the title. Good Lucha Libre style.
Yeah, this was your Lucha Libre match of the show.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
S.A. Rios, he tries to do the typical Lucha Libre spot where they do the arm drag and he walks across the top rope, but he clearly messed this up because the camera cuts away and you just see like China's reaction. And when it cuts back to the ring, you see that like he just did the arm drag. So there was clearly a botch there somewhere. They just kind of cut away from it quick enough because there's like a 5-second delay when we actually see it versus when it's like actually happening and stuff like that. So I just ruined live events for everybody. So
There you go.
eventually Eddie Guerrero dominates S.A. Rios. He had some really cool lucha style onto S.A. Rios, really cool suplexes and everything like that. He dragon suplexed him at one point, which was cool. And eventually China continuously cheats, and Lita's too afraid because, China's an opposing figure, and Lita's not really on a level at that moment. I don't think Lita's really like a full-time wrestler at this point, at least at this time. And eventually, S.A. Rios tries to go off the top turnbuckle, and he gets pushed into the announcer's table, which Lita tries to do something about, but the same thing ends up happening to her, but it's done by China that time. And Eddie Guerrero still continuously takes over the match. He hits a really cool suplex into a springboard flip senton onto S.A. Rios, which is a typical Eddie Guerrero move.
Hilo.
Eventually, S.A. Rios mounts a comeback. He hits a really cool flip Cena senton onto the outside, which, is obviously really cool because usually you think Rey Mysterio.
At one point, he does a moonsault and he almost overshoots Eddie and slams his knee on the announcer table.
Yeah. And eventually, though, Eddie Guerrero ends up nailing him with the belt, and he ends up hitting a frog splash for the win.
No, not the frog splash. Not the frog splash. You're remembering that wrong, believe it or not. It's the gory special neck breaker. He does a gory special, and he does an airplane spin into a fucking neck breaker, which that's actually pretty decent. I don't know about a finish, but cool Siggy.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Afterwards,
what were you going to say, Casey?
Comes up.
Hold on, Casey, what were you going to say?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. Go ahead,
Afterwards, Lita runs in and whips off China's prom dress, and she's in her bra and panties, and it's meant to embarrass her, but it ends up kind of backfiring in a sense, because Eddie Guerrero was taking a liking to it, and she's kind of like just whatever to it.
It's really good.
Yeah, Eddie, originally she acts all embarrassed, and then Eddie's just like looking at her like, wow. And then the crowd is going with it, and then China just like kind of soaks it in, and then like, I see.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought this was a really good match. I give it like 3.5 stars, and it was really cool to see the Eddie Guerrero and China act. Like, you could see that it was, even though it was new, it was really already catching on at this point. Like, I don't think it was long after this it really turned babyface. So this was really cool stuff.
Yeah, they all. I think they did turn babyface pretty shortly after this. Now that I think about it, I remember. There was at one point, there was a couple moves that you missed that S.A. Rios did. One was a really cool spinning tope over the turnbuckle. And then there was another move, which could have gone wrong had Eddie Guerrero not landed the way he landed on near the apron. But S.A. Rios does this crazy-ass monkey flip into the fucking ropes, and Eddie literally almost necks himself. But it looks really cool, to be fair. But, yeah, dangerous as fuck.
So, yeah, I give the match 3.5. Let's go around. Casey, what did you think of this match and your star rating and all that type of stuff?
3.5 sounds about right to me.
Michael X?
Makes sense.
Yep, same.
Nikos?
I'm like leading between 3.5 and 4 stars. This was a really good match with Eddie.
Yeah,
fair enough.
So I'll just round it up and say I'll give it a 4.
There you go. Who's on?
Yeah, I'd agree with Nikos. Hate S.A. Rios though. Hate him.
Yeah.
I think I'm not gonna go deep into. I don't know what it is. Like, I think it's just I've got a problem with luchador wrestling. I think it's just a personal pet peeve. Because
he's
it's
not white, and I don't like him.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Shit.
Shit was funny.
Jack, do you care? Jack, do you care to comment?
No. No,
okay.
dude. No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No, I adore this dynamic with Eddie and China. I'm all over it. It is adorable. It is great. It is entertaining. Yeah. It is fantastic. I love their dynamic. The little things, them just like all the mannerisms that they have, the way they like connect with each other. It is adorable. And I love it so much. Eddie's incredible in the ring. But what I cared about the most. Yeah.
I like that we're seeing this dynamic now with his kayfabe son.
Yeah.
And nowadays and stuff too.
Oh, with Rhea! Oh my god! Oh, yeah. What a callback! I didn't even realize that until I didn't even clock it.
Their dynamic is that fucking Dominic is getting like pegged every night.
Yeah,
that's a way different dynamic. That is not wholesome at all, bro.
Hey, listen, you don't know what was wholesome and what wasn't on screen between Eddie and China. All I'm saying.
Love, bro. No, I love the dynamic.
But yeah, anyhow, as for where S.A. Rios ended up going, he really didn't last much longer in the WWF.
No way.
him and Lita ended up breaking up on screen shortly afterwards.
Yeah, like SS Rios.
No, I don't. I don't like SS
Him and
Rios.
Lita ended up breaking up on screen shortly after this, and he mainly wasn't used all that much. He kind of just did like the lesser shows, like not Slam, but with Jack. That's what I'm thinking of, Jack and all that type of stuff. And then eventually, he ended up asking for his release, and he just has mainly worked in Mexico and things like that. The biggest thing he did is he showed up in TNA in like 2004, and I think had like some type of X Division match, but that's really all that.
Probably for the X Cup or some shit, yeah.
Yeah, so he really didn't amount to. I mean, to be fair, like, I know we say like they could have done probably better with it, but the roster was just so loaded. There really wasn't really a spot for him at that time. There really was like. I know they probably could have done something with him, but it's not like I feel like just the roster was so loaded. There really wasn't a lot you could do. It's
I would have found
that's just my opinion
something
anyway.
with him, but yeah, that's fair enough.
Sure.
That's just because I'm an overthinker. I think to a fault.
Next, Jonathan Coachman interviews Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. There's some more stuff about how Stone Cold Steve Austin's not going to be there. He's going to retain his belt because he's the best wrestler in the world. And
quick
he talks
update.
about.
Oh, hold on.
Huh?
Sorry, quick update. That salad plate still hasn't been touched.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Yeah.
Next, Chris Benoit gets interviewed, and he talks about his upcoming Intercontinental Championship match.
Yeah,
with,
I'll quote a line from his. You see, the difference between a cyborg, the difference between a robot and me is I have emotions, and I'm gonna unleash my emotions all over Chris Jericho.
Yep.
Which, if you're a dirty
Chris
line,
Benoit promos aged like fucking milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of milk, if you're dirty-minded like us, that whole line sequence translates to what, Mike?
I'm gonna fuck Chris. I'm gonna have dirty sex like a pirate.
Bro, after that line was said, all we did during the watch-along was just fucking roast this match. Fucking at one point, I think he said, "I'm gonna make you smell my white semen liquids." At one point, is what Mike said, and then I transitioned that into he's gonna catch him in the crippler cum face. Then Nikos came up with he's gonna put him in the balls of Jericho, and then the four of us, while Jack is like, I don't want no part of any of this. Go Judas in my ass.
So while all that was happening,
the hell over.
Oh my god! Wait, say that again, Casey.
It was game over, boys.
Dude, it was like we just turned the entire feud. They want to have rough fucking sex.
So all that happened.
They don't want to have sex.
Yes.
They want to have that.
All that happened. I don't
bestiality sex.
Yeah.
Bestiality sex.
So these lads were like fucking doing all this, and then like James asked me, "Oh, how you doing, Kuzon?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine, bro. Yeah, whatever." And then fucking Benoit just gives himself a fucking concussion, and you could feel the entire chat change.
We were having such a fun time roasting Benoit for his promo.
The atmosphere
and
changed.
then he suicide dives to the fucking floor, and it got really sad. I'm like, dude, why? Come on, man, you're harshing my fucking mellow. Why do you gotta do the dumb shit?
Yeah. Oh, and
anyhow, going through. So it's Chris Benoit versus Chris Jericho for the Intercontinental Championship, with Benoit defending the title. This was obviously like a little bit of a showcase for the feud that would go on until 2001. Chris Benoit he pinned Chris Jericho to become the new Intercontinental Champion at WrestleMania. And that weird triple threat match thing they did where it's like, you know what happened there. It was just weird. And that Jericho became the #1 contender for the belt. It's really kind of weird if you think about it, though, that Jericho wanted to go after this title instead of the European title. But, maybe they wanted to get Jericho away from that China feud because that really wasn't connecting at that time. So they wanted to remove Jericho away from it as far as humanly possible. So, fair enough. But yeah, Chris Benoit would call Chris Jericho would call Chris Benoit Chris Benoit and actually pronounce the T and called him a robot and everything like that. And he does it some more in his promo before the match.
Like the most unfunny thing ever. It's like Jericho really didn't have a lot to go off of here.
Yeah, because it's Jericho, he does find a way to make it work. The match starts off. They both evenly matched at some points. They're just doing a bunch of chain wrestling and a bunch of headlocks and everything like that. Eventually, Chris Benoit drop kicks the steel steps into Chris Jericho's knee, and he works over the knee for a while. And he goes for that suicide dive that James mentioned, but he completely misses and hits himself head first into the barricade.
No, not even into the barricade. He fucking straight up lands on the floor.
Yeah, but no, he hits himself into. He definitely hits the barricade at one point because the barricade goes back a little
it's like a rebound effect. Like he hits the
Yeah.
floor and then like the back of his head hits the fucking barricade.
Yeah, which is like one of the spots. It's nice to see, but if you know all the history about Chris Benoit and stuff, it's like kind of what happened. It's probably that probably had some long-lasting effects.
Yeah, you think?
And then Jericho mounts a comeback. But Benoit just immediately cuts him off.
Yeah, he cuts him off by a drop kick to the fucking knee using the steps, which is pretty good.
And then Benoit works over the leg. Jericho mounts another comeback, and he hits the lion salt, but because his ribs and everything like that are too injured, he takes too long to get to the cover. And at the time, the lion salt was his finisher. So Benoit was able to kick out of it. And then Chris Benoit hits a German suplex. Jericho kicks out. He hits the diving headbutt. Jericho kicks out. Gets him into the crippler crossface, and Jericho transitions it into the walls of Jericho. He tries to do the Lion Tamer version, but because of the damage to the ribs and everything like that, he's unable to do so. And then Benoit gets to the ropes, and he kicks Jericho away. And the ref ends up taking a bump, and this allows Benoit to grab the belt, and he hits Jericho off the head with it, but he kicks out, which was a really cool nail fall. And then Benoit goes for the diving headbutts, and Jericho, we think at the time, moves, and he ends up going face first into the championship, and it leads to a disqualification. And I was ready to come on here and completely crap all over this finish, because typically it's like, well, it's not a disqualification, it's a place item. However, when you watch the replay, though, the Jericho actually hits Benoit with the belt to counter the move, and the referee ended up having to throw the match up. So I guess good catch by the referee. Still not the best finish. Not necessarily a bad finish, though, because it was such a great match and everything like that. It continued their feud going into 2000. And I didn't really realize the storyline that they were telling. I don't think it's the storyline they really told, it's the storyline that more the fans tell themselves. Jericho didn't really beat Benoit until that Royal Rumble 2001 match. Benoit always had his number. So I thought this was a great match.
I agree. But I want to also point out that it was one of the most gnarly DQ finishes I've ever seen. Because, you could do a DQ finish in a lot of ways, but this was definitely one of the more brutal fucking ways I've ever seen it happen.
Sure.
So, I give this a pass for it being a DQ finish. I rated this 5. This
I gave it 4.5.
Ruled.
Yeah. I feel like I also gave it 4.5 because maybe if I just saw this match, but the other matches, I think are on just a whole nother level. Like
I agree, but for me, this still fucking was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Anytime you got Benoit and Jericho in the fucking ring.
Yeah. I don't think they're capable. I honestly don't think they're capable of putting on like a bad match. So
no.
Throughout this match,
they probably could if they really put their mind to it, but, I mean, come on. They care too much about their craft. They're not going to do that.
Yeah. One other thing about the match is JR kept advertising the Insurrection pay-per-view coming up because that was the UK pay-per-view. They said Jericho and Benoit are both going to be there and stuff, so that was kind of interesting.
Glorified house show.
Yeah. So yeah, let's go around and just get everybody's thoughts on it. We're gonna start with Nico's. We haven't started with Nico's yet, so let's start with him.
Honestly, I enjoy a good Benoit Chris Jericho match, though I feel like the DQ finish. I don't know. After watching the last pay-per-view with Benoit, where he was just trying to win off a DQ, like this is kind of getting a little repetitive here. So, what? I mean, originally I was going to give this maybe a 5-star, but I might have to knock this down to like at least 4.5.
That's
It was
fair.
still a good match overall, despite the concussion and all. But we were all having a great time, like memeing on this match, which made it more enjoyable.
Yes, that definitely had a
Till
lot.
the fucking, till the brain scrambling fucking drop he takes.
Yeah.
Holy shit, the hug. It was.
Michael, like your thoughts on
nuts.
this match?
It's incredible. It's Benoit and fucking. It's Benoit and Jericho doing exactly what they get paid to do.
Yeah.
Kick each other's asses almost every night.
And then Casey, your thoughts on this match?
I'm with the others. 4.5. This was really solid. I honestly don't mind the DQ finish, but both of these guys obviously would go on to have much better matches down the line.
Yeah. And James, you kind of gave your thoughts on this match already. Let's end it with Kuzon.
Yeah, it's a really good match. Actually, it was very fun to watch this because it was just one of those matches you can just sit back and just enjoy it without trying to like pick it apart. It was just good overall.
They wrestled. It was a good wrestle.
Yeah. If you wanted to like show like a good match to someone, just put something on real quick. This is something that'd be a good choice. Yeah, I didn't hate the disqualification finish either. I think it was fine. There was a reason for it, and then they can do a rematch. Mm-hmm. So it's overall, it's good.
I think
next,
before we go to the main event or the next segment here, I think it's worth pointing out that even though it was a cool DQ finish, we talked about how Benoit's promos say it's like fucking milk here. If you look at this final spot, Benoit hits his head right on this fucking championship. Like, there was no give whatsoever. Like, fuck, man. No more of that actually happening. Like, call me a pussy, but I'd rather wrestlers be safe than fucking hurt.
For sure. Next is the main event. It's the WWF Championship match. It's Triple H. This is maybe a mouthful to say. With Stephanie McMahon ringside defending his title against The Rock with Stone Cold Steve Austin in his corner, which we'll get to that in a second. With Vince... Triple H doesn't just have Stephanie in his corner. He also has Vince in his corner. And Shane McMahon is the special guest referee. So, this all goes back to WrestleMania 2000 when they did the match between Triple H and The Rock, where they had a McMahon in every corner.
Yes.
And Vince McMahon was in The Rock's corner. And he ended up turning heel again and costing The Rock the WWF title and aligned himself with the McMahon-Helmsley faction, which was like the last, other than Linda, McMahon family member to align themselves. So they were all pretty much together at this point. And The Rock wanted revenge for this, and he wanted to do whatever it took to get back his WWF Championship. And The Rock had to win a 2-on-1 cage match against the Bossman, and he did. And then he got destroyed afterwards by the McMahon-Helmsley faction, busted open with brass knuckles and everything like that. And the stack was really against The Rock. They really stacked the deck against him. They threw Shane McMahon as the special guest referee. They had Vince McMahon in his corner. And obviously Stephanie McMahon was in Triple H's corner. So Linda McMahon says that the only way to make the match fair is to have Stone Cold Steve Austin be in The Rock's corner. And this was what everyone was excited about, considering the fact that this was going to be the first time that Stone Cold Steve Austin was going to make any type of appearance on WWF programming since Survivor Series 1999. So everyone was really excited to see Stone Cold Steve Austin. but we didn't really know what was going to happen with Stone Cold Steve Austin because he has the don't trust anyone mentality, considering the fact, too, that he also has history with The Rock and everything like that. So it led to the episode, it was the go-home episode of SmackDown, which is like the highest rated episode of SmackDown, where it was teased all night that Stone Cold Steve Austin was going to show up there. And then he showed up backstage and destroyed the DX Express. And,
Press.
yeah.
It was the recycled Lex Express, by the way. That was the what Casey was saying. It was Lex Express, and that thing was old as shit. Apparently it broke down, so they decided to use it as the DX Express on television until they blew it up and just for television, basically.
Yeah. So, Stone Cold Steve Austin, though, still didn't necessarily, though, say he was on the Rock side. He said that he's on Stone Cold Steve Austin's side. And, you know, they were doing the storyline throughout the night where Stone Cold Steve Austin hadn't shown up. During this segment, Vince McMahon gets interviewed by Jonathan Coachman, and he mentions that Stone Cold Steve Austin could have possibly hit traffic, which is why he's not there. So, nothing really happened with that, but it was, you know, still good storytelling. Before the match, The Rock gets interviewed, and he talks about how he doesn't care if Stone Cold Steve Austin's there or not. He's going to win back his title and take down anyone that he can. It was really weird because they played like his theme music after the interview and everything, but then they like
and then they cut it right off, and they're like, and then Lillian's like, the following contest is for the WWF Championship. By the way, we almost forgot to mention this, and we have to mention it at least once because we completely neglected it because she's forgettable. To be fair, Deborah's infamous call. Edge and Christian.
Yeah, it was bad.
So there you go. All right, that's mentioned. Good. Move on.
So we led to this match. We had the match, and it was the title match. The Rock and Triple H started immediately exchanging right hands. However, Triple H immediately gets the upper hand. I'm just going to get this rant right out of the way right now because I feel like this needs to be talked about because I never really reviewed a match with the special guest referee where the referee is a heel. The one thing that doesn't really make sense to me about the special guest referee stipulation is they're cheated anyways. Why do you even bother going through a whole match and saying that the Rock kicked out? If you're cheated anyways, just screw them over right off the jump. Don't even waste your time going through all this other BS already.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
If you're cheated anyways, but whatever. But anyhow, looking over that though, The Rock just gets, he's consistently outnumbered. Vince throws him into the post, and he gets, Triple H works over the head of The Rock in the chest area because that's what was targeted when he hit him with the brass knucks. He even picks him up at one point and slams him chest first onto the announcer's table. And he really just dominates The Rock throughout the beginning portions of this matchup. And it's not explicit, but you could definitely... Shane McMahon does things like... he does kind of a bit of a fast count on The Rock at places. When The Rock would lock Triple H into a submission, he would, not really... he would make him break it right away. And same thing with Triple H. He would also, pretend that he didn't see, Triple H's hand on the ropes. Just typical stuff like that. And when Vince did interfere, he made sure he wasn't looking, but he knew he was interfering, so other things like that. The Rock mounts a comeback, and he has Triple H pinned with the DDT, but Shane won't make the count, and he has a pin by a 5 count at this point. You could say that this makes Triple H look weak, but I actually don't really think so, because I think Triple H knew that Shane was going to make the count, so he didn't really bother, using up his energy and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So The Rock just decks Shane McMahon with a right hand.
How this wasn't a DQ, I have no fucking clue. The only explanation I could legitimately see is, they wanted to fuck him over as long as humanly possible.
Yeah. And then The Rock attacks Triple H. He gets some revenge by picking up Triple H and dropping him chest first onto the English announce table. And he starts destroying the Spanish announce table, which is the typical Spanish announce team, Carlos Cabrera and Hugo Savinovich out there. You can actually hear Hugo Savinovich calling the commentary.
I necesito!
It was pretty funny.
Stop it! Leave a table alone, ese!
Triple H is able to get.
Wait,
the
hold on,
for a second.
Casey, go. I said, go ahead.
Really not much to say except God bless Hugo and Carlos. I miss that team on WWE so much.
I agree. They're back in AAA now, at least.
Yeah, you can watch them on AAA together. So
it's not quite the same.
Snort a bag of coke.
Dude, the more coke that Hugo decides to snort, he'll think he's at a fucking football match.
Yeah, but then Triple H is about to pedigree the Rock through the Spanish announce table, but the Rock counters with a low blow, and he goes for the rock bottom, but Shane tries to call him off, so he just rock bottoms Triple H and Shane McMahon through the Spanish announce table.
Bro, he got fucked up by this. Like, Shane took the worst of this, dude.
Yeah.
So if you look at this fucking rock bottom, and I didn't catch this the first time viewing it, but when I saw it again, Shane on the replay, you'll see his head literally smashes off the fucking bottom of the goddamn table. Like, it clips the back of his fucking head.
He takes a header, dude.
Bro, he got fucked up by this. And I think it was legitimate. And to think he's taking another unprotected chair shot later on. God damn, dude.
Then the Rock gets Triple H back into the ring, and Vince McMahon low blows the Rock from behind and starts attacking him. And The Rock just gets beaten down for like a while. He gets hit with the championship. He gets hit with like a pedigree, but he still kicks out. He gets hit with a protected chair shot. And he tries to go for another unprotected chair shot, but no, because Shane doesn't come back yet.
Yeah.
What happens is when he calls for the refs, he calls out. It ends up being the Stooges, Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe, who had a segment earlier where they would confirm that this was going to happen. And I believe it's Pat that tries to make the count, but the Rock still kicks out. And they just beat down the Rock, pedigree onto a chair, just destroy him.
They're all punching the shit out of him, and then, like, Vince is screaming, I want you to count faster. I want you to count to 3. You hear me? Count to 3. Yeah. Glass shatters. The fucking place explodes, dude. Fucking Austin hauling ass with a steel chair in hand. Bang. Right to the back of Triple H. Right to the head of Patterson. Right to the head of Briscoe. Right to the head of fucking Vince. Right to the head of Triple H. Right to the head of Shane. He's just laying everybody out with unprotected chair shots. Pop after pop after pop. Oh my, fuck off. Fuck off.
Jesus.
Is that James's head?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jack. You are telling me this entire time you guys were silent, you were plotting this towards the end of the fucking show!
Oh, no, buddy. No, let's get this right. Nobody plotted shit. I've just been sitting here on Photoshop fucking around for 5 minutes.
Fuck off, guys! Come on!
Hey, man. Hey, dude,
Did you laugh?
Hey, man,
James,
we're giving you free thumbnails. Fucking appreciate the art, man.
That's really
James.
well done.
James, is it funny?
Yes, it's funny, but come on, man.
Shut the fuck up and cry to someone who cares.
I care, because we're near the
In other
main
words,
event.
nobody here.
Carry on.
Sorry.
Anyhow, so Austin just cleans house, and then eventually the Rock hits the People's Elbow and pins Triple H to become the new WWF champion. And
by the way, Linda comes out angry as shit. That's probably the most emotion she's ever shown, other than
with Earl Hebner, who had just been fired for the Chris Jericho title change, like not long before.
Yes, which was great storytelling, by the way.
Yeah. So that this gave Triple H an out to lose, because technically the referee that pinned him was technically a fired referee, so that should have been like unsanctioned and all that type of stuff.
Well, except no, it was sanctioned because Linda still owned part of the company. I know it doesn't make sense, but you gotta kind of just...
No, but Owen, do you know who is still, to this day, well, still all the way to his death, one of the longest reigning WWF champions?
Who?
Chris Benoit!
Oh my god. Yes.
Yeah,
fully.
because he
I
never
know.
because of that fully loaded finish. Yeah, the Rock celebrates with his new championship. Then Stone Cold Steve Austin rides back out with the bus, the DX Express, just towing it down, and they share a beer together, and they celebrate.
Toast the championship, which was a based as fuck image.
Yeah, it was awesome. This is why I think a lot of people say this is what WrestleMania 2000 should have been, but because of how the show finished. This honestly should have been the end of WrestleMania 2000. Think about how much better everyone will remember WrestleMania 2000.
And that's why this is the best pay-per-view WWE has ever done.
Wow, ever done.
When it comes to the 2000s era specifically, name another good pay-per-view of the 2000s that tops how this makes you feel at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like an aura of satisfaction. Like,
it's really
done
good.
right.
That's what it is. It's fucking good.
And yeah, as for the star rating, now if you would have asked me what I think is a better match, it's probably Jericho versus Benoit. But I gave this 4 3/4 stars because the storytelling here was so good with everything that they. It's honestly one of the reasons Vince's WWE did work so well was because he just had that way of just really investing you into it. When Vince did his vision of what he wanted to do for wrestling, I don't think anyone could really do it better. Just because of how good Vince structures this match and everything like that.
When you get Vince past his bullshit and he allows people to be themselves, that is when he's in his element.
Mm-hmm.
That's when he's the best promoter.
I think we talked about this in the Survivor Series 03 retro too, James. Some of the natural feeling, I think it helps Vince isn't backstage. He's out ringside and everything because he's not trying to control everything too. I mean, I know he really wasn't back then as bad, but
it really and we're seeing it and reliving the war. Nikos and I watch it on a constant. Every week.
Now that's the bio show, right?
Yeah, that's the Wrestling Bio show. We watch it, and you can even see, it doesn't take until a couple things, really. Vince becomes a full-on, on-air personality where he's just 100% focused entirely on being the best heel he can be. And when Vince Russo leaves. So around this time period, this was the best creatively WWF was ever going to get. And probably ever will get, to be fucking honest, if we're going to be real about it.
Yeah. But, like I said, if you would ask me what's the actual match of the night, it probably is Jericho, Benoit. Personally, what's my favorite match of the night? It's probably this, just because of how well they executed this angle. The only thing you can say is this,
like a fucking champion, you know what I mean?
I'd say you got 1A, 1B for sure on the night. Mm-hmm. I mean, the semi-main and the main fucking delivered perfectly.
Yeah.
As they should.
So, yeah. Let's start with Casey this time. What did you think of this main event extravaganza right here?
I'm with you. 4 3/4 sounds fair.
Yes, agreed.
For me, good though the match was, the middle section to get Stone Cold out there just felt a little bit too overbooked.
A little bit, but it's not bad. The fact that Austin gets that he's only there for the equivalent time of 2 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
But that's all you need Austin to do is show up, whoop ass, and leave. That's all he ever does. Show up, raise hell, and leave.
The thing we're ignoring too, this was Stone Cold Steve Austin's first appearance in an arena since Survivor Series. I don't even think Survivor Series '99, before Survivor Series '99, because he never comes out Survivor Series '99, correct? I think
dude. To think about this, you had the 3 biggest stars of the entire Attitude Era in one match, really. If you break it down, Triple H, The Rock, Austin.
You could even say 4 because Vince could be included in that.
Yeah, that's true. I'll be fair. I hate the fucker, but you can't deny how impactful his heel run was.
But yeah, Mike, your thoughts on this match and just everything?
Well,
how it played
it's-
out.
I don't think Casey finished his, to be fair.
Oh yeah, sorry, buddy. After you.
No, I was done. I was pretty much done.
Okay, go ahead, Mike.
It's in layman's terms, it's phenomenal.
Banana!
It's fucking great.
Yeah.
There's a list of matches that I would absolutely say are fantastic from start to finish. This doesn't. Hunter puts on his fucking working boots, which is nuts to me.
He does.
Because I've watched most of Hunter's matches, and I can tell you from experience, he is Mr. All right, how fast can I get to the outside of the ring?
Which don't get us wrong, he did do, but it did at least take, 2 minutes and 40 seconds. 2 minutes and 40 seconds specifically for him to go onto the outside, which is a fucking record by him. So he put on his working boots by his standards.
It's fantastic. It's a fucking very good match, and it's the best match that the Attitude Era during the tail end of the 2000s pretty much was going to give you as a individual that enjoys the sport. And when people ever ask me, it's like, oh, why the fuck do you like pro wrestling? This is the reason why. Name another fucking thing where you get to watch a guy who barely shows up, but all he needs to do is show up and the glass shatters, the theme fucking hits, and this bald Texas motherfucker walks down to the ring, and everyone in the arena has this fucking energy of, we're about to watch him whoop everyone's ass tonight.
In the building.
He's gonna fucking kill everybody that gets close. He's gonna murder them.
Yeah.
And that's what you want from your fucking match. It's Austin at his peak. This is fucking what he was made to do for the sport. A lot of people will talk about it as like, well, Cena has the better championship run when it comes to how much he gave to the sport. But Austin, as I've talked about with Casey and I've talked about with you, James, but I don't know if I talked about it with anybody else in this call, maybe Nikos. Name another athlete in 6 years' time that went from a nobody to an up-and-coming star to the fucking face of the company to an iconic legend in 6 years' time and then left.
Yeah.
That is a creator wrestler story.
I mean, not even just a bigger star. He made make the industry better when he left.
He showed up on fucking regular news channels. He was talking to celebrities. He's the only guy in the world that would have the balls to push Mike Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest fighter in the world at the time. That's what Austin's legacy is that he didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And that is why he's on the forever Mount Rushmore of pro wrestlers. You can put Hogan on there, you can put Cena on there, but the guy that we're more impressed by, who's the top part of the fucking mountain, is this Texas madman with both busted-ass knees in jorts.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's
whooping
also,
people's asses.
That's also not even. He was still not even ready to come back. He was still recovering from the injury too.
No, he's still fucked up. The entire run is him on a clock.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's the most impressive part of the whole thing. In 6 years' time, he's on this fucking clock, this timer that hits immediately of, I need to get all this done and then some before I can hang it up and it be done.
And even then, it's it's still, he still has that effect to this day.
He just shows up.
He fucking.
That's it.
But and it's I remember. Fucking, there's no way Austin was coming back. Because I, honest to God, thought Mania fucking 19 was going to be it. Because that was a great swan song. And then he fucking... I hope he doesn't come back. Because the match he had in Dallas was probably the best way I've seen anybody go out in their career. I don't think he should come back after his match with KO.
No, he should be done.
It's perfect. He started in Dallas.
Yeah.
He ended in Dallas. There's no way you should go against that.
I mean, he might
Dude,
be.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Owen. He went from fighting a Brahma bull to a guy who's inspired by the Brahma bull.
Right.
That's fucking crazy storytelling, and only pro wrestling can do that for you.
Bro, I couldn't believe, and to this day, people have what they think about Jeff, but, I got to fucking call that shit. I didn't know what the fuck life was. I was calling an Austin match on somebody's channel, and I was just like, is this real? Is this real? Am I in a fever dream? Like, this no way, right? I was speechless for I don't even know, half the fucking match.
This is real.
Half
this
the,
is what we were
half
all
the fucking
reviewing.
match, bro. I was just like, huh. Yeah, wrestling's cool, and Austin helped it make cool. So there you go. There's my piece on that. Nikos, what'd you think?
I would have to be there with you boys. Throughout the entire show, I was just shy of giving a certain match a 5-star, but this is one of those matches that actually deserves a 5-star. This was good from beginning to end. A bit messy in some areas, but honestly, who cares at the end of the day? This is just a perfect match of the 2000s.
Well,
In fact, it's a perfect.
Doing their thing, and that's all you need.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who's on?
Oh, hold on, Nikos, finish your thought.
No, I was just gonna say that's all I gotta say on that. Just a perfect 5-star match.
Who's on?
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, with everything you said. That's pretty much
Now
it.
it's time. We have to give letter grades for the pay-per-view. We're gonna have Michael X go last since he picked the show. I'm giving this show
I'll tell you what everybody's thinking. It's a fucking A+ show.
It's an A+ show.
This is fantastic.
It's an A+ show.
even with
were you gonna say A+?
Yeah. I'll stick with A+.
It's an A+. Even with that Kurt Angle thing, at least we got some entertainment out of it. With the
Yeah,
big shows.
yeah. Honestly, it's good entertainment.
Yeah, so it's and even though the Dudleys and TNA match, you got a satisfying conclusion out of that match. So it's everything at least does what it needs to do on this show. So I'm giving this an A+.
Nikos, A+ for you. What do you got?
I mean, I was gonna say give it an A. I mean, the reason why is because there were some matches there that were just kind of okay, mid, but
Were you bored?
Was I bored? No, most of the matches we were just
And
kind of
that's
laughing
what-
over it.
And guess what? That's what its job was.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, I'll do y'all a favor. I'll bump it up to an A+.
Casey.
I'm with you guys. A+.
Who's on?
Yeah, same. A+.
There we go. It's unanimous all across the
Yeah.
board. 6 people. A+. Yay!
I feel like all across, if we added that up, that's probably several S ranks right there. It's breaking so many scales right there.
That's crazy.
Without-
It's crazy. The only thing keeping it from an S rank is because we make way for Big Show's Willie.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Which brings us to the next retro pick. He's not here to announce what the retro pick is, but that's what I'm here for. I'll announce it for him. So this is actually
jeez.
funny enough. So I know that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Yep.
I know the next pay-per-view was technically Insurrection 2000, but that's not technically the next pay-per-view. So Chris Dodd picked Judgment Day 2000 as his retro pick, and that's going to be the retro pick we do because that's right after this pay-per-view. So, and I'm making this announcement now too. When WrestleMania season hits, I feel like we have to do it now because we've done about every 2000 pay-per-view. Well, not everyone, but most of the 2000s reviews. We have to review WrestleMania 2000, I think, next year because we've been doing so many 2000s.
Fuck it. Fine. God damn it.
A McMahon in every corner.
I
We
cannot.
have to do it.
Oh God.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's all go around and do plugs and promotions and all that type of stuff. We'll start with Who's got the least amount of stuff to plug, so that way they can just kind of get it out of the way.
I say Nikos, probably, yeah.
All right, Nikos, what do you got to plug?
At some point, we will be debuting Royal Lion Lounge. We're just getting into the kinks on what we were trying to do for the first episode, but as soon as we got a formula plan, we will get together and eventually show it to what we've been procuring for the past year or so. So yeah, be on the lookout for that.
Casey?
You can find me on Twitter at ctroop19. Or at least as long as the site's still alive. I don't know what Emerald Mine Bitch Boy is going to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that site's going in the fucking dust.
Yeah,
it's great.
Probably. I'm fine with it. Fucking let it die. Honestly, please let it die.
There's nothing on Twitter that you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
on? Anything you want to plug or promote?
Wait, no. What about... Casey still has other shit to plug.
I thought we were done because...
No.
Casey, what else do you have to plug?
YouTube, Luke Lynch. Twitch, Luke12 Lynch. And I think James made me a link tree, which you can probably find a link to on my YouTube channel.
Oh, we get to watch all your porn?
No. It's not that...
Yeah.
It's not that type of link tree. Anyway.
Not this time.
Not this time, no.
Give him a year.
No, it'll be the crippler cum face all over again. Alright.
Or like the crinkly cum face.
I've never seen Owen go full beet red from laughing so hard. That's a first.
Is that everything, Casey?
Yeah.
Kuzan, you have anything you want to plug or promote?
Twitch.tv/Firelord Kuzan. I think I'm finishing up Sleeping Dogs, and then I want to start Mercenaries. Yeah, I got WWE content on there as well. I just play like miscellaneous wrestling stuff, and Mike's there as well.
Yeah, I sometimes show up and I just
we do the watch-alongs as well, and there's actually like footage of it, so you can watch it there.
You can watch, speaking of which, since you kind of beat me to the punch, you guys can check out the audio of the watch-along of this very event we just reviewed here, and on that very video is a link to Kuzan's Twitch, where you can see the video. There you go.
Oh, well, you're not missing out on content, because fuck you.
Got lots of content.
A lot of it.
Michael X, is there anything you want to plug or promote?
You can find me at twitch.tv/MichaelX_WYW. I'm just, I'm setting up some stuff right now. I'm going to be streaming Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays as my 3 big days. I got a CAW league coming around on Saturday Night Slam Master. I'm not spoiling that at all. But, yeah, I got some stuff in the works right now. You can also check out youtube.com/user/WYW Pride. That's youtube.com/user/WYW Pride. That's for Weymouth Youth Wrestling. I got that also linked to my Twitch, so that way you guys can check out all that stuff when the new season rolls out. When we get that going.
There you go.
How soon? Do you want to give anyone a timetable of when that's getting going, or is
no?
Stop
asking.
Absolutely no.
Fuck you.
No, I sign off on this. No. Wait until we know when we're towards fucking Warzone at least. Then we might give a timetable. Until then, no.
All right, James, you got a lot of stuff to plug in.
Now you know.
Yeah, so everybody plugged stuff on their stuff coming up. On all their channels going on. As Nico said, Royal Lion Lounge is coming soon. Wrestling with Idiocy is going to be making a comeback at some point next year. Casey and I got to get around to finding a fucking topic where we could just shoot the shit on pro wrestling and just do a...
You were about to say shit on pro wrestling, weren't you?
No. That's for open mic night.
Why? You say you're not about to shit on wrestling. I think you're a fucking liar.
No. I already did that. I already did that this week. I don't need to do any more. I enjoyed wrestling this week, actually, for this show. Anyway, where was I?
Wow.
Fuck, yeah. Wrestling with Idiocy. We're going to shoot the shit on pro wrestling about something that we like. I don't know. We have to come up with something. We usually talk about a bunch of stuff that we like. So if you want to check out the last few episodes, there was one that we did where we talked about great stage designs, another one about belt designs, a few others about, like, you know, different pay-per-view sets or something like that. Go check that out. It's really good. We also did
an interview with Wade Needham.
that was all. Yes, go check.
Speaking
that
of
out.
which, before I forget, we should get him back on the horn. It'd be really cool to talk to him again.
Yeah, for sure.
Agree.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, especially for
Yeah,
retro.
things have
one of
changed in
these.
about a year's time.
Yeah, no shit. Especially for fucking retro, one of these retros, just for fun. Yeah. What was I gonna say? So yeah, go check all that out. Check out Wrestling with Idiocy. We're gonna be launching that back up next year. Get yourself freshed up on that. Check out Don DeMarco's show on my channel. 2 episodes are now in the can. We just released an episode with Mr. Divine, who's a rapper with only 200 views, and it's fucking criminal. So go check that out right now. He's really good. We also have watch parties in the books here. Holiday Bash is a go. I thought I wasn't going to do it, and then they loaded the fucking show with actually great matches that I'm looking forward to. So, Holiday Bash Dynamite and Holiday Bash Rampage is a go, as well as New Year's Smash Dynamite and Rampage, and then it's back to stepping off the gas on AEW content again until their next special, whenever the fuck that is. Go check all those out. Those are on the way. No, New Year's Smash, believe it or not, is this year, but it's basically to celebrate the
No, I
New
know,
Year.
but I'm saying their next bit of content would be next year.
Pretty much, yeah. So, be on the lookout for all that, and also, check out all the retros that we've done on this channel, and go check out Noah's stuff. Since he's not here, I'll promote his stuff. His Simply Predicting, and his recent Simple Takes, which I'm really looking forward to. One of them is going to be on the Stardom card coming up, so go check that out if you haven't already. And he's also going to do one on Wrestle Kingdom, I believe. He's going to do a Simply Predicting for Wrestle Kingdom. I don't know if that's going to be this year or the first day of next year, but I'm hoping to get Kuzan on for that because I know he and Noah would have a ball covering some New Japan.
Because I like Stardom.
New Japan. Yes,
Because I really like Stardom.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So, yeah, go check that out if you guys want to. And, yeah, pretty much it.
All right, now as for my stuff, so yeah, like I said, next week check out the retro for Judgment Day 2000 because that's actually probably going to end up being the last retro we do for this year, which is kind of crazy to say that because we did a lot of retros at this year. I think more than we have any other year, so definitely give that a watch. Check out, like James said, other retros on the channel. Check out the first episode of WWE Aftershock where we cover all things WWE. We'll be putting that on as a full-time show in 2023 where it'll be a weekly show.
And along with that, by the way, Noah Foster back on the horn on this channel for AEW Spark as well.
Yeah, that too. And then Wrestling Rundown's coming back next year, so if you want to watch like past Wrestling Rundown content, you can check out the playlist. It's Wrestling Rundown / Match Choice Wrestling Corner / Aftershock Corner. It's all in that bubble. And let me think, what else? I think that's everything.
At least recently.
CM Brothers, we're going to finally get to 400 videos on that channel. My cousin has some time off of college and everything, so we're going to sit down and start to make some videos. They're all going to be raw videos, so that way we can just get them done, and then when we get to 400, we will make the changes. And then January 1st, I will do a channel update video on this channel and all my other channels and stuff where we talk about what's to come in 2023 for YouTube, and I'll kind of look into what I did this year for videos and say, hey, was it good or was it bad? So all that stuff, make sure you check it out.
There you go. So I think you just have to do your catchphrase and then
that's. Unless does anybody else want to say anything else before I do my catchphrase, or has everyone said everything they wanted to say for today?
I think we're good.
Okay. Just making sure. So yeah, we will talk to you guys later. However, since we're recording this in the past, we will talk to you guys in the future.
We doing all the classics, you heard it, then I grabbed it. Flow like Method Man, then run like I'm Rabbit. Soon as I hear the bass line, it be my FaceTime. Music's in my veins, so just in case I'm without my iPod or a media player, I'll check my...